what Wallen song created a mosh pit?
No, I'm just saying, had I been in the pit for a concert and people started a mosh pit, I would be pissed, which is why I am an anti-moshing advocate.
Got it. I don't think you're going to be in danger of that at a Morgan Wallen show.
I agree. I'm just saying, if I happen to venture into one of those one day,
that would, I could see you.
These are the concerts that Jack McCarthy goes to, in like a warehouse where they're dealing Molly. Like you're
talking about raves.
I don't run in those
raves.
circles.
I would not call a rave a pit. Raves, it's just like people are like dancing, but they're
I don't know
doing,
what you call them. Okay,
yeah.
I just know that I don't run in those circles.
Yeah, but the fact that you had a size 10 shoe when you were 10.
Yeah.
Big T he would shoe his age growing up.
That's right.
He would be 9, size 9, 10, size 10.
Were they pumps?
And that stopped at age 16?
They had all sorts of stuff. 17.
You have 17, size 17 shoes?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, it's gotten better in the last 5 years or so. I'd say the companies are more accommodating.
Have you been able to acquire like really excellent shoes that are like novelties?
No, and that's probably good. Well, so it's both extremes. You can either get stuff way cheaper than you would normally be able to, or usually more often more expensive.
Yeah.
But it's probably good for me because I want to be like a shoe collector.
Sure.
But I can't.
Well, but you can. And here's what you do. You tell everyone you know that you're a size 17 shoe, and then you ask everyone you know to be on the lookout for size 17 shoes.
Sure.
And size 17 shoes are going to come your way. Because now that I know, I guarantee you in the next year I will bring you a pair of shoes.
I mean, that'd be sick. That'd be very, very nice of you to do. I just, like when they do the drops and stuff of the Jordans and whatever, they always go up to a 15. And it's like, well, all right, I guess I'm not spending $250.
Yeah, but you don't want to be like everyone else.
That's
You're
true.
Not.
That's true.
Have you ever taken two shoes and cut them in half and then stitched them together to make a Franken shoe?
I have not. Have you?
No, but I might do that for you too.
Speaking of Bigfoot, there's several new sightings of Bigfoot.
Yeah, a lot.
How about that?
Portage County, Ohio.
Portage County, Ohio.
Where is that?
Tell me about Portage County.
Portage County is actually up by me. It's a little bit southeast of Cleveland. It's like the Akron area. So actually it's kind of like, I don't think Tate is from there, but like Kent State is in Portage County. It's pretty rural. It's a lot of woods. You're on the edge there of a couple state parks. A place Bigfoot could be. Honestly, he's right on the edge. If you kind of go just west, he's in a little bit of uppity territory of Cleveland. So it makes sense that he kind of stopped right before then, and he's kind of hanging out in the more rural,
but like
farm area.
Almost gentrified?
He may be gentrifying Portage County.
He's a contractor.
The county directly next to him is gentrified.
I'm seeing sightings in Mantua, Garrettsville, Headwaters Trail, and Windham.
So it's not really about the Bigfoot sighting. It's about the person who sought Bigfoot. You know what I mean? To me, that's more
6.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I want to meet those people. I don't really care.
Well, it could just be one person going around making all these sightings.
Right.
And
Can we get a local news interview with that person?
Well, so the descriptions vary. So on March 6th in Mantua, someone spotted a 9-foot brown male, they claim.
Okay.
On March 7th, also in Mantua, someone
a 9-foot tall brown male.
That's
it
what
didn't have tits?
That's what it says.
Okay.
The following day, also in Mantua, 8-foot figure with a, quote, deep vibrating grunt and oversized muddy prints. On the 9th in Garrettsville, a hiker encountered an 8-foot Sasquatch with black fur. Also on the 9th in Headwaters Trail, 10-foot black figure with a stilt-like gait and musky odor.
Okay. They were close enough to smell him.
That's what it says. And then again on the 9th in Windham, a 6-foot brown figure spotted running with an impossibly long stride. So we have 6 to 10 feet.
No.
6.
It's too long a stride.
Yeah, I don't know how 6 feet you would arrive at Bigfoot other than the impossibly long stride.
Just a very long stride.
That could have just been a good runner.
That must be a Bigfoot.
It could have been just a guy with a silly walk.
Yeah.
You never know. Okay. Well, yeah, it could. It feels like it could be like a group of people that's trying to.
What's the source on all those sightings?
Bigfoot Society.
Okay.
major Bigfoot surge in Portage County, Ohio.
8,500 followers, but one of them is Representative Tim Burchett from Knoxville. So he's in on the
Tim Burchett. Yeah.
They said
that sounds like something he'd be interested
the
in.
Bigfoot Society is tracking an unprecedented cluster of activity. In just the last 96 hours, there have been 5 separate high-credibility reports.
Guys, I have to breaking news here. As of 8 hours ago, there's been a 7th sighting in Tinker's Creek.
Oh, what's going on in the creek?
Last night around 8 p.m., a mother and her daughter were traveling en route through at 303, heading west from Streetsboro toward Hudson when they came face-to-face with the unknown. Proximity extremely close. The witnesses were within 3 feet of the creature. The passenger noted she could have hit it as they drove past. The creature was in the road walking into oncoming traffic. A lean 6'5" tall brown figure.
Have they just never seen a tall person? 6'5" is like
Yeah, I mean that could just be.
So it looks like this is all coming from the Bigfoot Society, which is like, don't get me wrong.
Well, they're the who would be doing this reporting?
Don't
Pat?
get me wrong. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I no
That's like
disrespect.
saying that's like saying all the Maxx Crosby news is coming from ESPN.
That's true.
As if that discredits it.
That's true.
Who else would be reporting on Bigfoot other than the Bigfoot Society?
No, it's a great point. It's a great
And
point.
I will
touche.
say the Cuyahoga Valley National Park is right there. So he may be living in the national park.
That'd be the best place for him to live.
Now,
It's
do we
illegal to
think,
hunt
based
there.
on the different descriptions, I mean, 6 foot to 10 foot's a pretty drastic range. Do we think this is one Bigfoot or Big Five?
Family? It
as
could be
were?
a family of big feet.
A Harry and the
Yeah.
Henderson situation.
Now, how do we know? How do we have any idea if that first Bigfoot was a male?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so it has
I saw
a
his
huge
penis.
Bigfoot hog.
Yeah.
That's just swinging. I mean, the impossible stride. Think about it. If you're how big is a Bigfoot's foot? Do you think, Big T?
I mean, someone
you're-
say
'cause
one
you're-
of these is just 6'5". I'm
Okay.
6'5",
All
so
right.
it could be just size 17.
I'm just
I
saying,
don't know.
you got a 10-footer with an impossibly long stride.
Right.
His dong must be just swinging from thigh to thigh.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
That voice you hear is the Beav.
What's up?
It's Pat Cassidy on Macrodosing. Pat's joining us today. We're going to be talking about Ticketmaster today and the Ticketmaster Live Nation merger / lawsuits / history of the companies. I learned some stuff reading about this. I really did. I didn't know the full extent of Pearl Jam versus Ticketmaster.
Dude, that's the big thing.
Shout out to Pearl Jam.
Big shout out to Pearl Jam.
I would love to talk to Eddie Vedder about like his experience dealing with that, because it turns Eddie Vedder was right. It's like if you look back in the 90s, we clowned Eddie Vedder a little bit. We clowned Lars from Metallica
100%.
a lot.
He deserved it.
We clowned Lars for going against Napster.
Mm-hmm.
In retrospect, it was kind of a pointless battle to fight, and he fought it like an asshole, and he was a dickhead about it. But he was kind of right about the forces behind the music industry and where things were going.
Maybe I disagree with the Lars argument.
Okay.
Because essentially he was saying like a guy who was already worth tens of millions of dollars in the late 90s, and it was going to end up being worth close to $1 billion, was essentially saying like, we can't survive. You're stealing our art, and not being progressive, not looking back and saying sometimes technology will change the way business is done. But he already made it. Lars had already acquired his wealth.
That's true.
I really didn't appreciate that.
It
Like,
did. It helped a lot of bands that were coming up.
dude, it helped
For
so
sure.
many. Like, think about this: the band The Gourds from Austin, Texas, right? They put that song on Napster, the cover of Gin and Juice.
Oh, yeah.
But the bluegrass cover, dude, that's like that made their entire career.
And that cover of Gin and Juice got mislabeled.
Oh, it's
like-
mislabeled so hard.
what do you think the most mislabeled song in the history of
Gin and Juice. I'm
file
pretty sure
sharing
it's
is?
Gin and Juice by The Gourds, labeled as like Fish or someone else.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
I feel like Crazy Game of Poker was probably mislabeled a lot as being like Dispatch.
Or was it Dispatch? Or was it OAR? Or was it what was the other one? That's pretty much those two.
There were some that were mislabeled as being from the Beatles too.
It was
Polyphonic Spree was mislabeled as the Beatles a lot.
Big T.
Remember
Could
that?
you imagine this? Do you know what we're talking about?
I'm following, but I'm not really.
Oh, let's
Like,
go.
so
Let's go back in time, Big T.
Okay.
Okay, a young PFT is in his freshman year dorm at James Madison University.
So this is what year?
This is 2003,
Okay.
and I plugged my computer, my modem, into the wall, right, and
With the cord.
the Ethernet cord.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm I consider
no air
myself a
conditioning.
millennial. I'm on the border, but I consider myself a millennial. So I'm not. I had dial-up internet. I had VHS.
Okay, now Big T, this screen that he's viewing this information on, curved.
Understand?
Monitor.
With a big ass. It had an ass.
It had a little bit of an
in the
ass
back.
to it.
Yeah.
It was called a monitor. My roommate just brought in Madden in 2000.
Well, that would have been Madden 04
with Michael Vick.
With Vic,
With Michael
one of the
Vick.
greatest video games of all
And
time.
we would get mad at each other because we would switch up, and he would put T.O. on his team, and Vic and T.O. as a combination was unstoppable in that game.
Best Christmas present I ever got, Christmas of 2003. I got the original Xbox and Madden 04.
Fantastic game.
Yep.
He's got the Kiss poster on the wall. He has his Boondock Saints poster on the wall.
He had a Kiss
ready to
poster?
go. The Kiss, not the band, but the Kiss with the two chicks that were kissing in bed.
From tattoo. Oh, okay, yeah,
The
the Kiss
Kiss.
poster, college Kiss poster.
Yeah. Another guy in my suite had the Pink Floyd album covers on
With
the
the
back of
butts?
the Naked Ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
was a
have
really
that.
sick one too. So I'm in my dorm room, and we're like, let's download Napster. And then
I know what Napster
and then
is.
he was like, nah, I'm going to download Morpheus.
But I think Napster might have been cooked by 03.
It might have been cooked by that time, yeah. So
You were
maybe
like-
I downloaded Morpheus.
Or LimeWire.
LimeWire. He might have
Or
downloaded
Kazaa.
Kazaa.
Yeah,
And
Sean Parker, the guy who had sex with Dakota Johnson in the Facebook movie.
there you go.
that's right.
That's the
Also, Herndon, Virginia native.
Yep.
Really?
So,
Mhm.
Wow.
yeah,
Yep.
a little fun fact for you.
Our internet tentacles run deep,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go on the Herndon, Virginia Wikipedia, and there's some notable names on there.
very deep.
Mine, his, Sean Parker's.
How about
I'm
that?
still not on Old Hickory, Tennessee.
We got to fix that.
Yeah. I should be number 2.
I would help you out, but I'm banned for life.
Who are you behind again?
Bargatze.
That's right. Yeah.
Fair
That's
enough.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. So we go on, we log on, and then you can just download free music from anywhere right onto your computer.
And
if you're
pornography.
and pornography. And if you're lucky enough to have a portable MP3 player, which it looks kind of like a pager,
Mm-hmm.
then you can connect that to your computer. It'll take a couple hours, but you'll be able to upload all the songs. By all the songs, I mean probably like 10 to 15 songs
No.
at a time that
What?
you can put on your MP3 player.
Yeah, probably. And Big T, I'm going to warn you. If you're the type of guy who likes to have the proper artist and song name with maybe a uniformity to the labeling, you're fucked. Okay?
Okay.
You're going to have a real hard time here. You're going to have to download all those songs and then run them through a separate program to relabel them with the proper artist, the album. If you have an iPod, I don't know, and you want it to be properly organized. Okay.
Now, was all of this worth saving 99 cents?
Yeah, because
Dude,
it
we
was,
had no
it was
money.
easy.
Also, like here, Big T, you used to go to the record store and buy an album that you knew nothing about. You just heard the band name. You never heard it. You
That's
don't know.
insanity.
And then you forced yourself to like it, whether you liked it or not. I mean, there's so many records I bought that I was like, this is really good. And like retrospectively, it stunk.
But there's
But it was
kind of a beauty in
$17.99.
that, right?
Yeah.
Because now when an album comes out, say by your favorite artist, and you listen to it and you're like, I don't like this.
The new Gorillas came out.
Yeah.
Skip,
Right.
skip.
And then it's
all
just
weekend.
gone forever. Where
So-
it's like an arranged marriage situation. It's
That's right.
You grow warmer over time with
That's
it.
right.
You had no choice.
But
right.
yeah, but Pat's also right that you are more likely to convince yourself to like the music if you went out and you spent money on it. So you drop like $20 at Best Buy, you come home,
Sure.
you start listening to it, and you're like, this first song's not really for me. Second song's not really for me. But you give that album another chance. Then you give it a third chance, maybe even a fourth chance, because you're like, I spent money on it, and I'm smart, so I obviously made a good decision.
Right.
I just haven't caught up with my own brain yet as to how good these songs actually are.
Well, you're also psychologically describing the roadmap to a hit song. Okay, no song is a hit song when it first gets played. The reason a song becomes a hit, and for years and years, decades and decades, because big radio would say this is a hit, and they would force you to listen to it multiple times. And like the third time you hear it, you're like, I kind of like this song. That's the psychology behind it.
No, I said that's a number one hit record.
That's a hit record. Hey, Big T, let me lay one more thing down for you.
Mhm.
No discovery feature on these apps,
Mm-mm.
kind of like OnlyFans. Okay, you got to know what you're looking for when you go on there. Okay, it's not going to suggest an album for you.
Right.
You got to have to. Your roommate says, "Hey, download that Dispatch song, Crazy Game of Poker."
You like Spatch? Dude, you like Spatch? Have you heard the new Spatch track?
You a Spatch guy?
I've been lost at this point.
Okay, so you go on.
Spatch is that
that's
an
what
artist?
you called no, that's what you called Dispatch if you were cool. You didn't want to pronounce the whole thing.
No, yeah.
Dispatch.
You're
is
a
an
busy
artist.
man with places to go. Yeah, Spatch, save yourself some time.
Yeah, buddy.
Right.
Dispatch. Tree.
Why say lot word when few word do trick?
Exactly, like D&B instead of Dave Matthews
Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, or you just call him Dave if you're
Mhm.
from Charlottesville. But yeah, you would have to go search for these songs, and then they would all be mislabeled because whoever like initially, God bless the people that like put their CDs into their CD-ROM, uploaded them to the file sharing service, like tried to label them. They were doing God's work.
Well, they were also putting themselves directly in the line of the law.
Yeah. So you would be able to download these songs from anywhere, get them on your computer, and then I think it was the Department of Justice in like 2002, 2003 started like actively going after college kids that were downloading like single albums at a time, not like for massive amounts of downloads, but if it was like certain bands, they would like
You get a letter.
they would throw the book at you, and some kids got in real trouble for it back in the day. So it was also like the added thrill of you're breaking the law when you're doing this. But yeah, there's so many mislabeled things. Stuck in the Middle of with You was Bob Dylan.
Not Steelers Wheel.
No, that was Bob Dylan.
Okay.
As far as this labeling service was concerned, what was I'm trying to remember what they had for Dispatch. There was a certain band that was just substituted for Dispatch.
Oh, it could have been Guster.
Could have been Guster.
Could have been Guster.
Yeah,
right in that same vibe.
Yeah, Guster was big back then too. But yeah, you
no
just,
shoes. These guys weren't wearing shoes when they were playing Big T.
Y'all are just saying a lot of words that somehow they sound like they go together, right? But then you hear them, and I just don't know what's going on.
It's like if you're looking up like a song from the Beatles, let's say, and you're like, I want to download an old Beatles track. You would type in the Beatles, and there would be a song that would come up that would be called like the Beatles Honky Tonk Woman, and you download that. And then you'd go on your day thinking that Honky Tonk Woman was a song by the Beatles.
That's right.
When it was actually by the Rolling Stones.
Or like Linkin Park, a song titled Somewhere I Belong, okay, was actually by a band called Headway. But people, that's the worst situation. When you're a young band or a new band or an independent band, and then some major label band just gets squatted on top of you from a labeling perspective. So like Headway could be crushing it right now. I mean, it was the Wild West, Big T. The stars were being made overnight, okay? But there was no way to connect the dots. There was no way to get on there and be like, no, it's me, Headway. That's Headway, not Linkin Park.
What percentage of people were doing this as opposed to just downloading the songs on iTunes?
There was no iTunes.
No iTunes back then. iTunes.
In 2003?
I think iTunes was about to get. I
guarantee you're wrong.
Okay, I might be wrong, but nobody really used it.
Well, that was my question.
iTunes, for me,
2001.
Okay, for me, iTunes didn't really kick off until like 2004, 2005.
Right, with the U2 commercials. I mean, I would say 80% of people are doing this versus iTunes. No one was downloading on iTunes. No one.
Yeah.
Were you a seeder? Did you seed?
What do you mean?
Well, so Big T, here's something you should know. Okay. You could download. Okay, you could take.
Sure.
But it was a community, and you also were expected to give.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, like, you downloaded a song, you could then leave your Kazaa or LimeWire or Napster open and have others come download from you because it was peer-to-peer, decentralized. But you could also click that off, okay, if you didn't want them occupying your internet, coming in your house and taking part of the song from you.
What would be the benefit of someone downloading it from you as opposed to wherever you downloaded it from?
Because you're a seeder. So like, let's say there's like 900 people had that song, right? Then you could get it way faster. Versus like if it was a rare song and one person was seeding it and like fucking 50 people were trying to download that one seed, you have to wait in line.
Interesting.
A lot of people weren't seeders.
No, some people were just takers.
Yeah, they're just takers.
I think I did leave my computer on.
You seeded a little bit?
But yeah, it was a wild time to log online. Wild time. And Pat's right. It's like you would get embarrassed like 2 years down the line when you'd be like, "Hey, have you heard that Goo Goo Dolls song, I'll Be?"
Right, or Kissed by a Rose by Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
I bet they could do a hell of a version of that.
100%.
For
Boyz
sure.
II Men, those guys love prostitutes, I'll tell you that much.
Really?
This is the music business episode, right?
Yeah, how did we get here?
Allegedly.
Also, who'd you say did I'll Be?
Goo Goo Dolls.
That would be good too.
No, it was Edwin McCain.
Yeah, I know, but
No, I know that,
I'm saying,
but he
like,
was saying
10 years down the line, you refer
wrong
to
version.
the song as
I don't
being
think you know that.
Goo Goo Dolls.
I knew that.
Oh yeah.
Who do you guys think? Quick trivia question. Big up to Edwin McCain. Who put Edwin McCain on the map? There was a huge band that went to bat for Edwin McCain and said, "We don't go unless Edwin McCain comes."
Foo Fighters.
Is it like same style of music?
Yeah, same vibe. In fact, they probably had a bunch of mislabels on Kazaa and LimeWire. A South Carolina band.
Oh, Hootie.
Blowfish.
Yeah, Hootie went to bat for Edwin.
Really?
Good for them.
They ride together.
Hootie seems like a guy with good head on his shoulders.
100%.
He got famous, and he's like, I just want to go to sports games, man. Just like put me on a jet, take me to sports.
Well,
He
Hootie.
hates Tennessee
What?
like a lot,
I kind of respect
an
that, though.
an unduly amount.
For a guy that is somewhat in the country music space, to be public about hating Tennessee, given his South Carolina fandom, I respect that. That means it's real.
I respect when celebrities actually care about sports.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot who say they do and they don't.
Kenny Chesney.
1,000%.
He cares about sports?
Well, he's been a fan of every. So he's from Knoxville.
Sure.
He claims to be a Tennessee fan, but
Okay.
he's been a fan of everyone. He's been, I think, a Virginia Tech guy at one point.
He's fair weather?
Oh, yeah.
I got to tell you a Kenny Chesney story. Probably the worst gig I ever had in the music business, by far. And I'm just going to say 100% the worst gig I had in the music business. Kenny Chesney was coming to Charlottesville, Virginia. In Charlottesville, Virginia, tertiary market, college town. It has a big arena, John Paul Joe's Arena, and it gets acts that it should not, right? Because of Dave Matthews Band and Red Light Management is one of the biggest management companies in the country. And Corin Capshaw, who owns all those venues, huge acts come in that like really Charlottesville cannot support. Like the Rolling Stones played there. Kenny Chesney's coming. He happens to live next door to Corin Capshaw, Dave Matthews' manager, down in the Bahamas. They have houses together. So it's like a very special show that Corin wants to make sure does really well. So they go hard on promotion, hard on this Kenny Chesney promotion. I don't know shit about Kenny Chesney at this time. I know nothing. But I do know that they put a gigantic stack of posters in my hand. And on this poster was a shirtless Kenny Chesney. And he looked like he had pec implants. I didn't know much about Kenny Chesney at the time. It was a very homoerotic poster, I could tell you that much. And my job was to drive to all the small towns surrounding Charlottesville and Virginia and poster that Kenny Chesney poster everywhere I could. And look, if you go into a small town in Virginia, there's a couple places that are the center of hang, one of which is the barbershop, because there's just not that many places to hang posters, but it was very important this show did well. So I, for 3 days, had to go into barbershops and say, hey, guys, any chance I could hang up there's a country music show in Charlottesville, hang up this Kenny Chesney poster? Bust that poster out. What in the world is that? What is that man doing?
I thought he was a good country boy.
Tough gig.
Put a shirt on that man, then we'll talk. Big T, I want to jump into something before we get back into Ticketmaster, because there's a big story going on in the sports world. I'm sure you're fired up about it. In fact, I know you are.
There are two big ones. I'm only fired up about one of them. I hope it's
World Baseball Classic.
Yep. Okay, I am fired up. Mark DeRosa should be in prison.
Okay, so Mark DeRosa, the manager of Team USA, we
use that term loosely.
We do. He went on a talk show yesterday on MLB Network, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is prior to their game against Italy.
By the way, when this comes out, we'll know what
We'll know
happened.
what happened. So, like, choose your own adventure. Either the U.S. has been eliminated from the World Baseball Classic, or we advance due to dumb luck.
Which it'd be the biggest failure in the history of American.
Absolutely not. Did you look at the roster of the Italy team? Because I woke up.
They're fine.
I woke up last night and I said, we lost to fucking Italy? Let me see who's on this roster. It's a bunch of wannabe guys with Italian names who are MLB players.
Correct.
Right.
Which is another problem I have, and we've discussed on this show. Those guys should lose their American passports. But it's not that we lost. Mm-hmm. It's that we lost, and the manager said he thought we had already advanced.
Right. And that's your one job.
Of the things you should know, I feel like that's got to be one.
He hasn't been a manager for or was he ever even a manager?
No, he's only managed like the World Baseball Classic teams, and maybe
he's rusty.
And to his credit, he was like, "Well, if you carry the one on the division plus
it's
the
so
seeding
insane
and the point values."
And so he started backups yesterday, guys who suck.
Okay, I didn't see
like
this.
Paul Goldschmidt, who's 1,000 years old,
so
and
old.
Gunnar Henderson, who's a good player but shouldn't have been playing.
Well, Gunnar Henderson played well.
Did he have a hit last night?
I think he had a home run.
Gunnar?
Yeah. I think he went yard last night.
PCA had 2.
Yeah.
Former guest on this show, Bryce Terang, had a good game.
Yeah.
I think Gunnar went
Bryce is
yard.
awesome.
But he did make moves.
Regardless, who was
regardless.
Bregman didn't play.
Mhm.
That was the thing. Gunnar played over Bregman, who, either way, DeRosa thought, by the way, Italian name, interesting how that
Right,
works.
right.
DeRosa thought they'd already advanced, said it publicly, and then you can see in like the 7th or 8th inning when he found out that he was warming up Clayton Kershaw to come in and like have a farewell tour.
Yeah.
And then someone told him, I guess, hey, we actually need to prevent them from scoring because we're going to have to rely on them tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then he put Mason Miller in.
So Gunnar Henderson, he went yard, but he went 1 for 5.
Okay,
With
I mean, if
3
you hit a
strikeouts,
homer,
so
that's fine.
It's fine. But, yeah, the point still stands, which is he had no idea. I would imagine that at some point that night, the manager's talking to the team, he probably said something to the team about, we've already qualified.
He said it on TV.
Look,
Yeah, he
Boys,
said on
take
TV,
it-
so he probably said that.
Yes.
Take your foot
To
off
the
the
guys.
gas here.
Yeah. He said, and then he said in the pregame press conference, we've got some guys that are dragging after last night, like they partied.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did no one on the team not know?
Curfew's lifted tonight,
Listen,
boys.
math is not the strong suit of the United States. Never has been. It's very American for him to
But
be like,
Pat,
well, based on vibes, it did feel. I thought that we had advanced too.
I knew we didn't, and I haven't even been following that close
Yeah,
because they were like
we're in the group of death.
there's still 3 teams that could advance.
Yeah, we're in the group of death. So it's us, Italy, Mexico are the 3 teams. Now tonight, Italy played against Mexico, and if Italy won, then we advance, right?
Yes.
Or if Mexico won and scored more than 5 or 5 runs,
5 runs.
5 runs or more,
Yes.
then we advance. I'm wearing my Italian jersey.
Oh,
today.
dude.
Dang.
I'm rooting for Italy today.
Oh, that's true.
That's
yeah,
right.
I guess if those 2 teams were smart, they'd make a handshake agreement before the game. Listen, we're just going to take every pitch for 8 innings.
Can you imagine?
Nobody scores, and then they go out there in the 9th, and Italy just intentional walk 4 times. Mexico wins 1-0. They both advance.
Can you imagine?
Holy shit. I can't think of an instance in sports where that's ever existed. Where
Well, there was
both teams could go
Yeah,
by tanking.
Well, there was
was-
the tie thing.
it was the Raiders and the Chargers
Yeah.
in week 17 or 16. I forget when it was. I think it
I
was
think it was
17.
the last game.
Yeah, but I don't. It was after the
Yeah, whatever.
17 game schedule, but it was the last week of the season, and it was the last game of the weekend, so it was like Sunday night, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so it was like if these 2 teams tie, then they both go, and it looked like it was going to be a tie coming down to the very end, but then there was a field goal kicked, and it was it was not a tie, but yeah, they could do that. I think there's too many American players on Italy to do that, though.
I mean, it's 90% American players. And also on Mexico, 90% American
I
players.
thought it's very Zoomer of the 2 teams to be playing. One with I on their hat, the other with us on their hat, and the I is one. Very selfish.
Yeah.
Selfish.
Wait,
baseball.
so you think the Americans on the team Italy would want the U.S. to advance?
they should.
Oh, I don't.
I
think
mean, it's
so.
You think that Americans
No,
on
I think-
Italy would do a handshake agreement with the Mexican
I think
team?
they were. Did you see them last night? I mean, they were buzzing.
Right, they were excited to beat the United States.
Right.
They're
And
winning an
just
important game.
Competitively, it behooves them to not have the U.S. advance.
I feel like at a certain point, if you're Vinny Pasquantino, you can't look
Whom
yourself.
I liked until
Yeah.
last night. Has been in this office, great guy, super fun. I don't like him anymore.
How are you going to look yourself in the mirror, Vinny, if you do a secret handshake deal with the Mexican team, thereby eliminating the United States because you didn't feel like competing? That's not the Vinny Pasquantino I know.
They already competed and kicked our ass.
They did.
Pat, but I said what you objected when I said not making it out of the group in the World Baseball Classic will be the biggest failure of American international sports.
It's not because it's a bunch of Americans playing a bunch of Americans playing a bunch of Canadian
so you're saying
Americans.
because the other teams have Americans?
100%. Now,
No, it doesn't matter.
So here are the only teams that matter in the World Baseball Classic: the Latin American teams, right, and
Mhm.
the U.S., the
And
Japanese teams. That's it, and Canada. That's it. The rest of it is like, you come on, Italy. Like, my buddy Shlomo was the pitcher for Israel, and I was like, "How'd you get in here?" He's like, "Well, you're American." He's like, "Yeah, man, but like I get to pitch finally again." Like it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. I can't
I
believe
agree.
it. I haven't been following, so I thought to myself, like, man, I can't wait to see how many British baseball players. I didn't even know it was big over there. Wait a minute. These guys are all major leaguers.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Well, I talked about this during the Olympics that, you should have to play for where you're actually from. But our team is still the best team by far.
Okay, I take it back. Czech Republic is a legit team.
Yes.
Did
you see the electrician?
No.
Their best starting pitcher is an electrician, and they got him to like join I guess he'd retired or whatever, and he came out and threw like a ton of pitches, and the Japanese crowd was going nuts for him.
And also, what a great nickname, the electrician, for a pitcher, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great sports story too. That is what's cool about the World Baseball Classic. Like my buddy Shlomo is a concert promoter, and he hadn't played baseball in forever, but they needed bodies out there, so it's like he got to go represent his country.
Yeah,
the electrician.
Right.
The electrician, and then when the Tokyo Dome gave him a standing round of applause when he walked out the field. That was an incredible moment.
I want there to be real consequences if we did not make it out of the group in this.
Like what? Like what kind of consequences?
I want the players booed for the first several weeks of the season, home and away. I want Mark DeRosa to never have anything to do with U.S. baseball or any.
You're treating it like U.S. soccer. You're treating this World Baseball Classic like U.S. soccer.
The other play, go ask the Latin American players.
I can't. I don't speak Spanish.
Right, but I think it was Junior Caminero. I forget who, or it was Kike Hernandez. He was like, "I've played in 5 World Series. This means more to me."
No,
they treat this like it is the biggest thing in baseball, and we don't
because
care.
we in this country don't even treat this sport like it's a ticket out, like
they
do.
I think in the last 3 years, like baseball has really been on an upswing.
Yeah,
like it's popular again. Shohei is a massive star. Like, and this is and we lose the last one, so we're like, okay, we're gonna go fuck people up in this.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
And we lose to Italy because our manager doesn't know that we needed to win. It's insane.
It's a confusing point system, Big T. Well, I do have one question because I've not been following too closely, but I've seen a couple clips over the last couple weeks about some non-handshakes going on.
Yeah.
What's that situation about?
It was weird.
The first
I thought it was just pine tar.
Yeah. But then Cal Raleigh and Arozarena, it seems like was real.
So that's the one that just happened because they're on the same team.
Correct. They're on the Mariners.
On the Mariners together in MLB.
And I guess Raleigh had told him, like, don't do it. I won't shake your hand. And then Arozarena did it anyway.
And then Arozarena came out and said, I love his parents and his family, but he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Seems
he
like
he's lucky he has good parents.
Really mad. And the way that he was talking about his parents was like, I just saw his parents last night. They both gave me a hug. Like, I know where they are, Cal.
I love that out of Cal.
Yeah.
We're out here competing. We're the United States. That's like the Kobe Pau Gasol thing in that 08 Olympic documentary where he's like, first play, I know what they're running. I'm going to run through his chest.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Send a message.
Yeah. Like, we're out there to compete. And now against Italy, I guess we didn't decide to compete. But
No, that was a friendly.
Yeah.
We treated that like a friendly, which, by the way, Coach Polk from the United States men's national team in soccer, he has banned the word friendly.
Love that.
He said there's no such thing as a friendly.
Love that.
In soccer.
So what are they calling it now?
You got there, you compete.
Okay.
I don't know what he calls it. Probably just, I don't know. We'll have to do some follow-up journalism. But I heard him in an interview where he was just like, it's a terrible word. We don't say the word friendly anymore. So that game against Germany might be
big one. Well, they were going to care about that anyway.
A real big one, yeah.
What is currently the biggest failure of American Team USA sports?
It was probably
missing the World Cup.
That was bad. No, I would say the U.S. basketball team.
Right, we didn't win.
Not winning the gold medal in 2004. That's Argentina beat us, right?
I forget.
Yeah, there's no excuse in basketball.
But we also weren't sending like the best guys then.
We were sending a group of guys that were sick at dunking. And there was no real team.
So was that like Vince Carter and those guys?
Yeah, it was a bunch of like swingmen that were all good at
AI, Tim Duncan, LeBron, Dwayne Wade.
Oh, okay.
Melo. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good little team.
It was before LeBron and Melo were.
Stephon Marbury.
LeBron and Melo.
Boozer.
Is that a Mecca
Tim Duncan?
Okafor?
Yeah. I mean, Lamar Odom. I mean, that's an all-star team on an all-star team, dude.
No, yeah, that is true. I just remembered that 08 they called the Redeem team, and that's when we were like, okay, we're getting everybody.
Yeah, 2004 was.
That's a good. That team should have won.
That was bad. That's embarrassing.
That's bad.
But yeah, that's probably the
we lost our opening game to Puerto Rico by 19 points, just to give an idea.
In the real Olympics?
In the real Olympics.
That wasn't like a pre?
No, that was
okay,
Max
yeah, that's disgusting.
The actual Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, it ended their 24-game Olympic winning streak since 1982.
So yeah, that's probably worse. But like this would
They lost the group stage game to Lithuania.
It's bad.
The semifinal game to Argentina.
It was really bad. Where was this hosted?
It
2004 was
Greece.
Athens.
Athens.
Yeah, it was a real shame.
It was Larry Brown's fault.
Larry Brown's coached so many teams.
Yeah.
He's probably. It would be interesting to see, like, when they do this person's gotten hits off of 2% of every pitcher that's ever pitched.
Yeah.
What percentage of NBA players has Larry Brown at one point coached?
That's a good question.
It would be higher than you think.
Yeah.
Speaking of the NBA, congrats to Bam Adebayo, now the second leading scorer in NBA history for a single game.
Highest that we can prove.
Highest that we can prove that there's footage of.
I mean, they can prove the will to still game. They can prove it.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
And yet.
Okay. I believe it was recently dug into, and I think there was like a transcript of a radio broadcast.
For the record, I think it happened.
Okay.
But
well, you don't sound like you think it happened.
We don't know.
It's fun to pretend.
Okay.
You know who claims to...
Was Jesus a real person, Big T?
Well, we have more evidence of that than Caesar. But regardless, you know who claims to have like the one tape of that game? Josh Pastner, who was the Memphis and Georgia Tech basketball coach. I think he's at UNLV now. He says his like grandfather or something was the mop boy for the Philadelphia Warriors at the time, or whatever team it was, and said that like he had a reel-to-reel tape of the game starting at like 50 points.
As a mop boy does. Because think about how big a reel-to-reel was back then. He had to like take a break from his mopping, go put it on a cart.
Yeah, I don't know
reel it in.
Let me see if we can find this.
Okay,
story.
so that's why he held up the 83-point paper yesterday, because Wilt still held up 100.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was kind of like
that's a reference. Yeah.
kind of a shitty celebration. Someone wrote 83 on a piece of computer.
Oh,
paper.
you didn't know
I
about
didn't know
that picture?
No, I didn't know that.
In January 2014, then Memphis Tigers head coach Josh Pastner claimed that his father, Hal Pastner, possessed a reel-to-reel tape of Wilt Chamberlain's legendary 100-point game from March 2nd, 1962. Hal Pastner was reportedly close to Wilt, even serving as a soda taste tester due to 100-point game fears of poisoning. This is the Google AI thing. It doesn't sound...
What a great job.
And recorded the game on reel-to-reel tape starting in the second quarter when it became clear a special performance was happening.
It's like the Book of Mormon, though. No one can listen to it but him.
Yeah.
This is I think that what Bam did last night is hilarious. And
was it just bad?
That's my final statement.
Okay.
It is a hilarious thing that he did. And it's hilarious that the Wizards kind of played along with it and that they served as like minor characters in this weird saga. The Wizards are just an embarrassment of a basketball team. And if you look at the Wizards schedule,
Well, Trae Young wasn't out there yesterday. He was hurt.
If you look at the Wiz schedule for the next like 5 games, there's a few guys I could see hunting 80 points now that they know that it's possible against the Wizards. Like they got Paolo Banchero's next. I could see Paolo hunting 80.
Yeah.
If Bam did it, he's going to try to do it. I could see Cade Cunningham from the Pistons. I could see him trying to do it. I could see
The Wizards are going to let him.
Tatum. Tatum's back. He's got something to prove.
Yeah.
He might try to hunt 80. And then I think they also have Shea, right? SGA coming soon.
So I think we got to hit the over on the Wizards games.
I think we just got to bet on the leading scorer.
Yeah, slam that over.
If Bam's hitting 83 on him. It's very funny the way that game shook out because his own team was trying to juice the numbers. They were feeding him the ball. They knew they were going to beat the Wizards, so it's like, let's try to get Bam as many points as possible.
It's like a high school basketball game, dude.
How many free throws did he shoot?
43,
43 free throws last night. It's good stuff. Now people are angry because they're like, is this a cheap way to get 83? He didn't deserve to pass.
There's no
Kobe.
cheap way to get 83.
He got 83 points.
I have a phrase I'd like to ban. I'm sick of seeing it. The unethical hooper.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm done.
What is that?
So that's what the kids say now. Like if you shoot too many free throws, you're an unethical hooper. You didn't do it the right way. So they say SGA is unethical because he gets fouled a lot.
Why?
He draws foul.
But he's drawing the foul.
He also,
this is what I say.
He also flops.
Okay.
And
you
watch
so
James Harden
flopping's
play.
different.
That's insulting to the refs that they can't catch
Right,
that.
but they just get mad at guys who shoot a lot of free throws.
That's not fair. It's not their fault.
And you know what I say to that?
That's blaming the victim.
You know what I say to that? If there was a really good player who didn't attempt a free throw the entire season, would people be upset about that? They'd say yes. They'd say, like, you're not driving the ball. You're settling.
That's right.
So there exists in these people's mind an acceptable number of free throws that you are to shoot.
Who are these
which
people?
is ridiculous. The internet.
Okay.
The youngsters.
Yeah. The youngsters are watching the NBA.
They claim to, and yet
clips.
the numbers never bear that out.
I think that there's a happy medium. Like, you can agree to that, right, Big T? Like,
I think if you're drawing fouls, you're doing your job and getting to the free throw line.
Where it's like you watch James Harden play sometimes, and he'll like jump into a guy.
To be clear, I don't watch any of these guys. I find it all unwatchable.
Okay, all right.
But I think when you're playing basketball, your job is to get to the rim, and if they foul you, go make your free throws. That's what Bam did.
Right, like your uncle who led the league in technical fouls. Right, his job was to go out there and foul people. That was his gig.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll get technicals.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to physically. Could just
You
cuss
just have to
somebody
run your
out.
mouth.
Yeah.
Then there's also another big story today, which is Maxx Crosby, the ongoing Maxx Crosby scandal,
So
if you
where's
want
he
to call
gonna
it that.
go? Where's he gonna go?
So, all right. So
where's he gonna go?
So he goes back to the Raiders.
Get back there. Oh, well, first, did you see the breakdown of how he didn't pass his physical? So this was interesting to me. It's a point system. So if he was a 7th rounder, he would have passed his physical.
What do you mean?
So the way that the teams assess passing their physical or not is the value of the player and how much the club is investing in the player. So obviously a 2 first-round pick investment is a massive investment. So that player needs to be, let's say, think about like a passing grade. That player needs to be like 95%, an A or an A plus to pass the physical. If he was a 7th rounder, he could get a C and they'd give him a pass on the physical. Because it's not like he, if he could never play again, it wouldn't be a conversation. But apparently that's the situation. It's weighted.
Okay.
So he had a very heavy weight to pass.
So he better be in tip-top shape.
Tip-top.
Now, that's interesting because he very publicly had surgery. So everybody knew that he was recovering.
They knew he had surgery.
They knew he had meniscus
and he also played
repair
through,
surgery.
He played through 2 games, and then they sat him for 2 or 3 games. They knew that they knew he could play.
They knew he wasn't healthy at the moment.
Right.
So that shouldn't have been a surprise. So he gets sent back to Vegas, and I think he's going to work.
Well, after a 13-minute...
I think he's showing up to the facility.
Goodbye video. A 13-minute goodbye video.
Very long. And so I think he's going to the team facility.
He has to. He has to continue to rehab.
Yeah. So either the Raiders are going to keep him or other teams are going to make an offer. He's going to get traded again. Some people are like, well, now what is this? Are teams going to be trying to get a discount?
Yes.
On an open box Maxx Crosby?
100%.
Like, he already got traded once.
He's missing a screw.
I think it's the other way around. I think he might be worth more now.
I think the Raiders can't afford him now. I haven't done the math, but the Raiders spent huge,
I'm not a
massive-
cap guy. They had a lot of...
You're not a cap guy.
They had a lot of cap space.
Right.
So if one team is able to absorb, it might be the Raiders, but my guess is they spent all this money with the understanding that Max
100%.
So Max comes back, and I think he's now, I'm going to take the other side. I think he's worth more. I think his value just increased on the open market because he's pissed off.
He's worth 1 first-round pick.
I think now it's 3. I think price
You
just
think it's
went
3?
up.
Price went
A
up.
pissed off Maxx Crosby. If he's going in the AFC North, where he gets to play against the Ravens twice a year, like if he's going to Pittsburgh, I'm not even going to throw the Bengals. Bengals are going to be looking for a discount.
The Bengals just lost an edge rusher.
I know, but they're going to be looking for a deal.
I'll tell you what is,
but if he goes to the Browns or if he goes to the Steelers, I feel like he's worth more now.
I agree. What's crazy is that the Ravens were ready to sign Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year deal.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Right. So, like, obviously they had that cooking. I mean, that was ready to go. Max comes in. It was buyer's remorse. It was some buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
And there's going to be hell to pay at the owners' meeting. Like, this is going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think that Goodell has gone too far. He's become like quasi Adam Silver when it comes to the tampering stuff. Because what was happening, the agents and the players and the teams were all breaking the rules. And so Roger Goodell was like, okay, I'll be the cool substitute teacher.
Sure.
And I'll let you guys have this. So I'll make the thing that was illegal, I'll make it legal.
Yeah, if you're going to drink, just do it in our house.
Yeah, do it in my basement where I can keep an eye on you.
Exactly.
And make sure you don't drive anywhere.
Yeah.
And so he's like, we'll give you a legal
There are no sneaking girls in that window, though.
Right.
It's just the boys drinking down there.
I'll give you legal tampering. And then next thing you know, there's a party in your basement and there's muddy shoes all over the floor.
People are getting fingered.
Yeah, some kids are smoking cigarettes inside. It's a tough situation.
Well,
So-
they introed a new rule this year, which was the 1 hour Zoom call, which I think is interesting. So he's just kind of letting it happen. But
Yeah.
like there's an interview now. You can just get on an interview for an hour, but it's just an hour.
what gets accomplished in a 1 hour Zoom
Well, okay,
call
here's
for an NFL player?
I'll tell you what. Here's a great idea. Let's say you were, I don't know, a potential Super Bowl contender out of, I don't know, like a mid-Atlantic town like Washington, D.C., and you're looking for a receiver. You get the quarterback on that Zoom call. That's what could be accomplished.
Okay.
That's what could be accomplished.
Yeah.
If the quarterback shows up on the Zoom call and Alec Pierce is on the Zoom call, maybe he's like, okay, I like Jaden. I see what he's doing here.
That is true. Also, I think if you can get somebody to show up on a Zoom call, it means it might be real,
That's true.
right?
Turn your camera on.
Yeah, like if the guy's ready to go
How do
on
I
the
know
Zoom
it's you?
call.
Uh-huh.
But if he's not ready to go and he's like super apologetic because he can't get the camera going, he's not talking to any other teams.
That's right.
So you can do a little bit of like background research on that,
That's right.
depending on their preparation. I think it's going to be very interesting what they do with Maxx Crosby
It's going to be interesting who can afford him now.
and who's reaching out, who wants him. If it's going to be the same teams that wanted him beforehand,
It's the commies.
I don't know.
So do we all agree?
I don't think so because we just got the guy from
Fabian.
New England this morning.
Do we all agree the Ravens found out they could get Trey Hendrickson and then said, actually, we'd like our first round picks back?
I think
Yes.
Trey Hendrickson's value started going down when he wasn't dealt the first couple of days. And he wanted 30. He ended up getting 28. I think they were like, ooh, we can get him for 28.
Yeah. I think what happened was they traded for Crosby, theoretically, and then they got in touch with Trey Hendrickson's agent and said, we don't take our names off your call list just yet. Like if the number goes down a little bit, we'd be very, very interested and motivated. And so then they knew that they had a ticking clock with Maxx Crosby coming to town and getting the physical done. And until that point was reached, they were still talking to Trey Hendrickson's agent.
Everybody's talking shit about the Ravens right now, but if you think about it, Maxx Crosby for Trey Hendrickson and 2 first-round picks might be the best trade of all time. They actually made a better trade
Yeah.
If you think
than
about
the first one.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
Yeah.
that's true.
If you consider Maxx Crosby to have been on the Ravens,
Yeah.
which by all indications he was, they traded Maxx Crosby for Trey Hendrickson and 2 first-round picks.
It's a very, very good. Now they're different players. Maxx Crosby is,
One's name's Max.
one's name's Max, but Maxx Crosby is better against the run, but he's also very good against the pass.
You
Trey
see-
is just like pass rush specialist.
You see his tweet today, Crosby's?
Oh yeah,
311, 6 years sober.
6 years sober today.
Imagine if
Congrats.
he wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now this is going to be an
Wait.
all-time.
He got sober on the day that COVID started?
God's plan.
Mhm.
God's plan.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's also today, right?
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
6 years ago, it was declared a global pandemic.
Yesterday was Rudy Gobert Day, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where he touched all the microphones.
I wish I could go back in time and buy Safe Moon today.
I think today was the day. It was like the first round of all the conference tournaments, and they all canceled except the Big East.
Yep.
And it was St. John's playing.
Who was playing?
It might have been Xavier.
And it was-
I want to say it was a Navy team, and there was nobody in MSG.
Yeah.
And they played, I think, half the
Halftime.
game.
Yep.
And then canceled it.
Yep.
And that was the last thing for 8 months.
Then there was no sports until Korean baseball.
Yeah. Shout out the LG Twins. Those are my guys.
Shout out the Wyverns. I was a Wyverns man
Really?
myself. SK Wyverns, I believe.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
I was waking up early to watch those games.
I mean, there was ball on TV,
yeah,
and it was so refreshing to see. That's crazy. 6 years ago.
that actually is nuts.
Congrats on not having to deal with that bullshit anymore. That sucked. That was a terrible 6 months.
Yeah, it was bad. I bought a bench, though.
Yeah, you
Nice.
did.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Yeah.
Still haven't?
No. Gave up on that.
Got rid of that.
I got really into Peloton for like 3 months.
I remember that.
Would do it
Buns of Anarchy.
at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. Talk about burnout, man. It sucked because I was competing against like the Booger McFarlands of the world and the former linemen that weigh like 250 pounds. And
How'd you get in that crew?
Well, I tried to start a biking crew
Mm-hmm.
and
A gang.
biker gang, and I would invite people that had been on Part of My Take to join if they had a Peloton. And there were all these former athletes that used to be linemen. They weighed 250, 300 pounds, and they just mash back and forth with the resistance set all the way up to 100.
Sure.
Let their body weight do the work, and then they just punish me.
Now,
Just crush me.
Were you guys a team?
It's competitive.
Were you competing against each other or other teams?
No, it was competitive, but also it's like respect, like beers after. You know, like that's the
real rugby vibe.
Yeah, the post ride.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we're not in the same town or room as each other, the post ride was where it was at.
Just real quick before we do the Ticketmaster, Hofstra made the NCAA tournament for the first time in forever. Do you know who their head coach is?
It is Speedy Claxton.
That's right. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Shout out former Atlanta Hawk.
There you go. Good for you, Big T. Good week to be an Atlanta Hawk. You got Speedy Claxton representing. You've got Magic City night being canceled.
Rid of the scourge of Magic City. You know about that, Pat?
Yeah, I saw it. I know about Magic City, the strip club.
Yeah,
it's very instrumental in the music business.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a neighbor of mine who got wings flown in from Magic City for I guess March Madness last year for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, they got good wings. I didn't know. And I know that NFLPA president was spending a lot of NFLPA dollars there a couple years ago. But what happened?
Yeah.
The Hawks were going to have Magic City night. They were going to have the wings and like special merch. And Luke Cornett, who plays for the Spurs, was very upset about it.
Because he's like a religious man?
Probably.
I mean, Atlanta's an interesting culture, and that's part of their culture. I mean, because like it specifically because of the music. Because if you want to find out if a song's a hit, then this is super cool. The first place you take is the strip club. So like if you make a banger in the studio and you celebrate with the boys, let's go see if it's a hit, and then they go put it on at Magic City, and if ass cheeks start clapping, then you know that you did some good rapping.
Wow.
It's legit.
Yeah. T.I.'s performing at the game.
100%.
Yeah, so they were going to have Magic City night. The NBA put a stop
That's
to
upsetting.
It.
I mean, that's like, yeah.
Makes sense, though.
I guess, yeah, for the kids.
I'm not, like, terribly offended by it, but I also understand, like, you can't be having a strip club night as a professional sports organization.
It's weird. It's a weird collab to have.
Well, let me ask you this, Big T. When you were growing up, did you get taken to Hooters?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because there were kids that did get taken to Hooters on sports trips.
Yeah, so we were always a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay, B-dubs.
Yeah, after baseball. Yeah.
Do you remember the Hooters guys?
Which Hooters guys?
There was some kids we grew up with whose dads would be like, let's kick it over to Hooters on a game, on a trip.
They're Hooters guys. They're a similar cousin to a strip club guy.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
But Hooters guys, it's like you can do that. You can do that for lunch.
Right. That's what you have to when you're with a group of 12-year-olds.
Keep it casual.
Now Hooters, the wings are delicious. I order Hooters here delivery on college football Saturdays sometimes.
Wait, Hooters?
What?
Their fries are some of the best.
Yep, curly fries.
Mm-hmm.
So, Big T, I would assume that you're doing that because of a nostalgia play, because someone was taking you to Hooters.
No,
on
I just think
trips.
It's delicious.
Okay.
The Daytona Wings?
Yeah.
Pat, I was actually just talking the other day about some of our buddies growing up and the fake IDs that some of them used to have. And I'd forgotten that we had one buddy that was like 19, 20 years old, and he wanted to be the guy that bought beer for everybody in our group.
Which is an insane thing.
But he really wanted this responsibility.
Because no one wants...
that's more of an obligation.
It's a fucking obligation.
It is not, but you don't realize that at the time. You're just like trying to...
Until
you don't realize how much it will be. You're like, oh, I'm going to buy beer for like my 6 best friends.
Let me tell you how much of an obligation it is. Beach Week 2. So we're 19 years old. PFT and I are the 2 guys with IDs. And we're like fucking slaves. Okay, we are in the morning, one of us has to take a shift. In the evening, one of us has to take a shift and risk arrest.
Yeah,
going to the grocery store to buy beer, and no one else could do it. They're like, all right, who's going? Which one of you guys is going this time? It's like, fuck you guys.
So
we get paid for that?
Just in friendship and camaraderie.
Sometimes you would keep the extra $5.
Mm-hmm.
I keep the change. There was one friend that we had that was so committed to it though. When he got his picture taken for his fake ID, he shaved male pattern baldness into his head.
I don't remember this.
He gave himself the horseshoe.
Wow.
That goes back. And then he had his picture taken.
And he was supposed to be 22?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like a 22, 23-year-old. But then every time he would have to like keep shaving it. So it would match with his ID.
Commit to the bit.
Yeah. And then there was another guy that we had. He was a He's in really good shape now. At the time, a heavy-set, ginger redhead young man. Great guy, great friend, won't say his name. But at the time, he was somewhat portly. And he could pick any name that he wanted for his fake ID.
Yeah, it's your right. You want to pick something that's non-conspicuous.
Do you know what name he chose for his fake ID?
McLovin.
Rasheed Wallace.
That's not true.
100% true.
Swear to God. Put Rasheed Wallace.
That's not true.
Rasheed Wallace was, I believe, on the Wizards when he got the ID too, or he might have just recently moved on to the Pistons. But yeah, Rasheed Wallace was his name, and he was like, 6'1",
Did it work?
300. There was one store that it worked at in our town, but that was like a guy that probably knew that it was fake.
Right next to the best wing place in town too.
That is true. Yeah.
Which was what?
The Wing Factory.
Wing Factory growing up. Yeah.
He was on the Trailblazers in 02, 03.
Okay, but he had been on the Wizards.
Yeah.
Before that.
In 1995.
It's pretty crazy that the Wizards had most of the Detroit Pistons like superstar line, or not superstar, but NBA Finals winning lineup.
Yeah.
They had Ben Wallace at one point. They had Rasheed Wallace. They had Chauncey Billups, and I believe they had Rip Hamilton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more fake ID story. Same batch of fake IDs, those guys that drove into D.C. to get him. Our one buddy didn't want to forget his address. So he put his address and he just reversed the numbers on it. And he rolled in to buy some beer. The ID got taken. And you better believe the private investigators, or not the private investigators, but the police rolled down that street, knocked on the door, showed the ID. And they're like, oh, no, he lives across the street, that kid.
Not the smartest move. Not the smartest.
Y'all
move.
were in high school at this time?
Yeah.
Yep. High school or either that or freshman year.
No,
college.
by college, by the time college came around, PFT and I took the reins over and started.
Did you go to JMU?
Yeah, started making some high quality.
Yeah, except Pat had we had some Massachusetts IDs.
Yeah.
And they were from Worcester, Mass.
Worcester.
And then some of us didn't know how to pronounce Worcester.
Thought it was Worcester.
And it said Worcester. And then that didn't fly too high with some of the bouncers that were from Massachusetts.
Oh, you from Mass?
Long
Yeah, Worcester.
They're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that would be tough.
Looks like Daniel Jones returning to the Colts officially.
What about
2
his
years,
Achilles?
$88 million.
Good for him.
Yeah, great for him. All right, you guys want to talk Ticketmaster?
Let's talk Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster. It's brought to you by Stella Blue Coffee. I had some Stella Blue this morning. I had an espresso sweet cream. Pat, what'd you have?
I had the Espresso Cafe Mocha. It was fantastic.
Yeah, they're really good. And they're doing their golden mug right now. So one winner's going to get 2 tickets to the men's college basketball national championship game. But that's not all. 9 other winners are going to receive a Barstool Chicago HQ experience with one friend.
Wow.
Buy anything on StellaBlueCoffee.com from Wednesday, March 11th to Friday, March 13th to get entered. Buying cans will count as 10 times the entries. So you're going to want to buy those cans. The lattes are made with 100% Colombian coffee. Each can is a good source of protein. Comes in 2 smooth flavors, Espresso Cafe Mocha, Espresso Sweet Cream. Don't forget, buy anything on StellaBlueCoffee.com from Wednesday, March 11th to Friday, March 13th. Get entered to win 2 tickets to the men's college basketball national championship, which will be a game played between the
Florida Gators
and the I don't want to do a rematch, so I won't do a rematch. Florida Gators and the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, for sure.
Were you
Chalk.
going to say Houston?
I like Houston's.
Oh,
I know they've been bad recently.
No,
but just,
stinky.
Just wait.
The Boozers don't lose.
Just wait.
Duke without Foster and
No Foster, no Patrick Ngongba.
Gongba.
Yeah. Caleb Foster out, I think, for the entire tournament.
Yeah, I think he's done.
I would guess. But Florida doesn't look like they can be beaten. Except maybe by Duke.
Not Michigan?
Michigan's very good too, yeah.
Arizona?
I like Arizona. I actually sneaky like Kansas.
Wild card.
Wild card Kansas. And I like Michigan State.
You like a lot of teams.
Oh, I do. I like college basketball. All right, let's talk Ticketmaster.
I've always said you're the number 1 college basketball guy. You're
Thank
watching in November.
No, I'm not at all. I watch 1 game a week pretty much from November until the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes 2. And then after the Super Bowl, then I watch every night. And this is a fun week. March Madness is very fun. But no, I'm not I'm not a year-round ball watcher.
Right. You're not a hoop head.
Not a hoop head. I during football season, I can only think about football.
It's the difference between your brain and mine.
That's just me.
Yeah. My brain has more room.
I'm a serial monogamist when it comes to sports.
Okay.
I care about one sport very deeply at a time, and then I move on to the next one. Yeah, Ticketmaster, or as Pearl Jam called him, Ticket Bastard. Got him.
Got their ass.
Pat, can you explain to us why Ticketmaster, Live Nation, why they're in the news this week?
Yeah, of course. So it has to do with Taylor Swift, kinda.
Okay.
Can you believe it?
No.
Yeah, so Taylor Swift, obviously the biggest touring artist in the world right now. Do you remember the debacle maybe a year ago where her tickets were going on sale and no one could log in, no one could get access to the tickets, right? Mm-hmm. Well, a bunch of lawmakers' kids or lawmakers for their kids were trying to buy tickets. And this is the first time that they experienced the failure of Ticketmaster. And it kind of started dawning on these lawmakers. It's like, wait a minute. Ticketmaster's taking these huge, massive fees, right, on tickets, but all they're really providing is this one service, which is like the ability to buy the ticket or not.
Yeah.
And that's failing. And that got them to start a dig-in.
So their daughter's getting mad at them
100%.
is the reason why that finally got Congress to act.
Oh, dude, the state of Minnesota passed a law called the Taylor Swift ticket law about it specifically. But DOJ brought a lawsuit, a monopoly lawsuit against Live Nation and Ticketmaster. And I think the Oakview Group, which is like an associated third party. But effectively, if you don't know, you know the name Ticketmaster. You might not know the name Live Nation. Live Nation is the largest concert promoter in the world by far. And Ticketmaster is wholly owned by Live Nation.
And Live Nation owns all the venues.
All the venues. They own all the venues, especially all the sheds, right? The amphitheaters. Mm-hmm. And that's really important because when you get to a certain level of touring, you're going to have to go. Like the bigger you get as a touring artist, the less venues are available to you, right?
So if it's like AC/DC that wants to tour.
Well, AC/DC will be touring in stadiums,
yeah.
Like they did a Soldier Field play. But like this is more like mid-level, so like 15,000 tickets. So during the winter, it'd be a basketball stadium. During the summer, it's going to be an outdoor amphitheater. And Live Nation owns 60% of them. But they also own Ticketmaster. And here's the rub, guys. Here's the rub. If you're going to buy a ticket, right, for a Live Nation venue, it has to be through Ticketmaster. Obviously, they own it. And they're going to throw some fees on that MFR, right? Some service fees. But then if you then you go to the concert, spend all that dough at the Live Nation situation, they're double dipping is the issue. And it really becomes an issue for the artists who are getting screwed, right? Because the artist is going to go to a venue and do a deal. Let me start from the basics. The idea behind touring, you're a band, Big T. What's the name of your band?
The Big T Believers, obviously.
Okay, the Big T Believers. And you guys want to go play some shows, and you have fans that are going to come out to those shows. So theoretically, you should be able to route a tour, right? Let's say you're going to do 50 dates. You're going to stop in 50 different cities around the country. You should be able to go and say, okay, what are the rooms in this town that I want to play and why? And some of the factors that'll go into like why you want to play that particular venue is like how big is it? Where is it? What's the location? What's the vibe, right? Now, if you really want to be in the good graces with the monster that is Live Nation, you go to a Live Nation room, right? You won't go to an independent promoter because as you get bigger, let's say Big T and the Believers have a number one hit, you don't want to get to a situation where you said, fuck you, Live Nation, and then now you need to go into one of their amphitheaters, but you're not on good standing.
You leveled up, but they won't let you level up.
Yeah. Here's another big issue. If Big T and the Believers are getting out there early, let's say you guys are playing 200 cap rooms, 200 capacity rooms, 300 capacity rooms, it's really important for Big T and the Believers to develop that fan base. Get asses in seats or on the floor. And ticket price is a huge determination of how successful a tour is going to be. It's like it's haggled over all the time. When we're booking a pop punk show, I'll say, PFT, what do we think about $18.20? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, I'm talking about $18 ahead of the show, $20 day show, which is a super low ticket price. But for pop punk, it's most important because we have a sponsor on those shows to get asses in seats. So we're going to keep the price low for an introductory situation. Same deal you might be doing if you're a new band. But then if you're going into a Live Nation venue, it has to be ticketed by Ticketmaster. And Ticketmaster is going to throw on a $7.50 fee on that thing. So that $20 ticket's now a $27 ticket. And you as the artist don't get to participate in that $7.50 whatsoever. Not at all. But it's weird because theoretically you did a deal with the venue. Now the venue's taking a split of that ticket revenue right? You guys are going to split it in some way, shape, or form. It's usually 55% of the gross receipts. But that venue and the company that owns that venue is getting paid secondarily, right, from the ticket fees. And it's not fair.
So a $20 Big T and the Believers ticket would jump up to $27.50, and then Big T and the Believers would take home what, like $11?
Well, let's break down a pop punk show that we did at a Live Nation venue. So Pop Punk played Gramercy Theater in 2022. The Gramercy Theater is a 650 capacity room, right? And we wanted to keep the tickets super low. So we did a 20-25, 20 ahead of time, 25-day show. But if you wanted to buy the ticket ahead of time, it was $27.50. So theoretically, Pop Punk would have gotten a portion of 20, or 20 would have gone to the venue and Pop Punk to split, and then $7.50 just goes straight to Ticketmaster. But Ticketmaster happens to own the venue as well. I think we did a 55% gross box office receipts on that deal. So Pop Punk ended up walking with the total gross of the show was $8,500. Pop Punk walked with $4,679. The venue walked with like $3,600, something like that. That was the split. But then they also got an additional $3,000 from fees.
And the fees, yeah.
Yeah. So they ended up making way more than the band, and that happens all the time.
And when it comes to the merch setup, is it true that merch number, like the prices for merch or drinks, it's going to be more expensive at a Live Nation?
Oh, Live Nation
venue?
venue, we have to split. You have to split your merch. So it's 85-15 or 90-10 on hard goods, 85-15 on soft goods. So T-shirts, they're taking 15%. You have to bring your prices up at a Live Nation venue. Also, the expenses are fucking insane.
That to me, that part's crazy. Where it's like you roll in with your own T-shirts,
right?
And people are expecting to pay. I think a normal price for a T-shirt that people would be willing to swallow would be anywhere between $20 and $30.
It's 30 today,
right?
Yeah,
and now it's like 30 plus,
right,
going up to 50 sometimes because the venues are also taking a cut.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they're nickel and diming at every turn. Now, last night I wanted to see what the fees were like, right?
Yeah.
So I logged on to Live Nation's website and I started cruising around to their venues, and I said, let's start in Chicago, and I looked at the Aragon Ballroom. Okay, it's a big venue, 4,000 capacity.
It's a cool place, yeah.
I said, let's see who's playing. And the first, I don't know why, I just clicked on Madison Beer. I don't know why. I don't know much about her. I just saw it and I clicked. Okay. And her ticket is $85. That's an advance ticket. The service fee, $12.50. Okay. Ticket insurance, $9. Now I accidentally bought this ticket. Okay, I bought it. So I now have a Madison Beer ticket.
Okay. You have to click through 3 or 4 things to
100%.
buy it.
He was experimenting.
Well, look, because I wanted to know if there was like a fee that was thrown on that wasn't listed, right, that they added at the total. And there kind of was, man.
Yeah.
Because I ended up paying $106.75 for this Madison Beer ticket.
Yeah.
Now, I'm like, shit, I bought this fucking Madison Beer ticket. I got to get rid of it. But don't worry, Ticketmaster has a resale marketplace
where they then take a percentage from you when you sell.
That's right, Big T. So I listed my Madison Beer ticket for $85, and my payout if it sells is $72.25, because not only did they hit me with a $12.75 fee when I bought it, they're going to hit me with a $12.75 fee when I sell it, which is fucked up. But here's a better example. Emperor, which is a band I don't know, but I guess they're a metal band. They're having a tour called the Imperial Wrath Tour.
Love that.
Which sounds metal as fuck. Now, they have a lower price ticket. They have a $40 ticket. The service fee on that ticket, more than Madison Beer, $13.75. Plus the county tax, by the way, Madison Beer is not paying the Cook County tax. I don't know.
She got an exemption?
I don't know. It's weird.
We're going to look into that.
We're going to look into that. You end up paying $60 for this Emperor, the Wrath of Imperial Wrath Tour, when it's a $40 ticket.
And they can just decide the service fees.
Dude, what's really weird is the service fees for Lamb of God. The service fee is $16.
Yeah.
$13.75 for Emperor. $14.25 for Bill Murray, the Kinda Hard Tour. I don't know any of these guys.
Okay.
I just looked up Cody Johnson, which is a concert I've already bought tickets to. And the tickets are $59.50, and the service fee is $19.55.
Right, it's fucking insane.
So
$20 service fee,
almost 40%.
And here's the 30%. Issue. What does Ticketmaster do? What do they do?
They sell tickets. So Ticketmaster, my understanding is that they were invented to solve a problem where people would buy tickets to a concert and not know what seat they were getting.
Right.
Right? And then Ticketmaster had a piece of software that allowed them to sell tickets on the phone or at a kiosk, and they would be able to tell you instantly, here's your seat that you bought tickets for, as opposed to having to wait for your assigned seat.
That was a legit problem back in the day.
Yeah, so they had a software system.
They networked some computers together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so you'd have to go wait in line when we wanted to buy tickets for the HF Festival when we were kids. We'd have to wake up at like 4 a.m, go to Tower Records, wait in line at Tower Records, camp out
Hex.
on the street. Yeah.
I used to buy Braves tickets at Publix.
Yeah.
The Ticketmaster thing
So
at
and
Publix.
Ticketmaster, look, did allow for that to happen because Ticketmaster's networked computers allowed for multiple points of sale, right? Where like you could buy it at Publix, you get a sandwich too, I bet. But someone else could be buying a ticket at the stadium at the same time, and they're not going to sell you the same ticket. So back in the day,
That did happen to me once.
Did it
though.
happen?
The New Jersey Performing Arts Center, the listeners of this show for a long time will remember the debacle. It was a whole thing. Never go to the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. They are scumbags.
is that the Count Basie Theater, or where is that?
Is that what?
In Red Bank?
It's in Newark. It's like right near Prudential Center.
I feel like they are enemy number one of Big T.
I've hated them for many years, and it will never die.
Yeah.
But back then, when they were founded, what year they were founded? In the 80s or
1976.
in the late 70s?
By 2 Arizona State University employees.
So that was a net. That was
This seems like an Arizona State venture.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like,
You know?
let's get people to give us money for doing nothing.
Yeah, it's in the office when is it Will Arnett? He's like, so I have this. There's an app, and every time you click my app, I get a penny.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but like, what does it do? He's like, when you open my app, I get a penny.
It's a good business move.
Yeah.
So it was ASU people. The first show ever that Ticketmaster sold tickets for was ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, at the
major
University of New
mislabeled
Mexico.
artist on Napster.
Good
It goes
point,
out,
yeah.
Manfred Mann.
Manfred Mann.
A lot of people think is ELO.
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of songs right now, and I just don't.
Okay, ELO people would say, oh, they do Blinded by the Light.
And you might be thinking,
Now,
Bruce
that song
Springsteen's
I do
Blinded
know.
by the Light? No.
I don't know who that's by.
Well,
It's
it was
by-
originally by Bruce Springsteen.
But then it was covered by Manfred Mann.
Revved up like a douche.
And people thought it was ELO. But, fun fact, Manfred Mann, the band that sings Blinded by the Light. From
Y'all are
Below.
telling me 5 people have sung this.
All right, listen. Manfred Mann.
Most hits have been sung by
It's by
people.
Manfred Mann's
Yes.
Earth Band.
Yeah,
that is the
yes.
okay.
Manfred Mann, they
If you're in the
sang.
know, you just say Manfred Mann.
Right, totally.
They sang Blinded by the Light, the song from Below. They're also the band that sang Do a Diddy Diddy Dum Diddy Do. You know that song?
Wow, there she was just walking down the street.
Sound like you could not think of two songs that were more dissimilar from that era than those two, but they did both of them.
But if you downloaded Blinded by the Light 2000, 2001, you're thinking it's ELO.
Yeah, it was always labeled.
So
as ELO.
there are probably a lot of people walking around the earth right now whose perception of who songs are by was based on
Yep.
100%.
Napster
It took me
and it's
Fake news.
20
totally
years.
incorrect.
Took me
Yep.
20 years to clear that one up. The one in particular. ELO,
Interesting.
Yep,
Manfred
a
Mann.
lot of misinformation.
and what caused that again?
It would be people that would upload.
Pranksters?
Yeah, sometimes people do it to
So it
fuck
was
with people.
intentional.
Sometimes intentional. Sometimes it would wind up on your computer and you didn't know who actually sang it, so you would just guess. And then for whatever reason, the file that you would upload where you just guessed on the band, that would become the one file that got very popular for people to click on and download across the internet. And so then people would just take your mistake and now it's infected everybody.
Right. Also, that song probably came out in like 1983, right? So pretty far removed from the
76.
76. Pretty far removed from the millennial understanding of the pop music lexicon. So someone's parent might have been like, I think that's Manfred Mann, or I think that's ELO. And you're like, okay, ELO. Upload.
That first ticket for ELO, $6.50, and the service charge that Ticketmaster charged, 25 cents.
Great. Cool. Makes sense. Back in the day, totally necessary service. Networking computers together. Hell yeah, Ticketmaster. Get after it. We need you. Now, I got to tell you, a little something else was going on when this was forming, and this was the Grateful Dead's touring business. Okay, so to give a dichotomy, an opposite of the story we're going to tell you about Ticketmaster, you got to understand what the Grateful Dead are doing at the same time. The Grateful Dead are doing their own ticketing, and they are going into venues, they're renting the venues out, and then they're selling their tickets through their newsletter and their fan club, and they're doing just fine. girlfriends, wives, burnouts. They're just taking cash in envelopes, being mailed to their P.O. box and sending tickets back out. And they're grassroots growing. And they're kind of doing it on their own, totally independent, and it's working.
Interesting.
So then Ticketmaster, their case for being a business was that Ticketron was the company that was handling most of the ticket sales in America at the time. They were kind of like the old Ticketmaster.
By the way, two great names.
Yeah, Ticketron's a great name.
Ticketron's a great name. It definitely feels like, late 1970s sci-fi influenced it. When coming up with the name Ticketmaster,
It's a great
I want to
name.
know how that came about. What's a good name? Well, we're kind of going to be the masters of tickets.
It's kind of sick.
Where
It
can
is.
you go? What's the next step up from? You had Ticketron,
Yeah.
which sounds like it's just a robot that controls the
Here
ticketing
are your
industry.
tickets.
Yeah, and then you leveled up to Ticketmaster, which is like, this is the guy that's in charge of the robot.
Ticket Knight.
Ticket Night,
Ticket King.
Ticket God,
Ticket Emperor.
God Ticket,
Yeah.
godticket.com. So
Ticket Wizard could have been cool.
Oh,
Ticket
yeah. I
Whiz
might
is
buy
good.
that domain.
Ticket Whiz,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tick Wiz.
I'm the Whiz.
Well, hold on.
He's got a wand. You like click the wand to buy your ticket.
Ticketwizard.com. Traffic ticket law firm.
Oh, that's pretty good too.
Yeah. Shit.
That's pretty good. You get a speeding ticket, call the Whiz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they were Ticketmaster was purchased by Burton Cantor.
Oh, man.
Burton Cantor, a Chicago tax attorney
Oh, wow.
who represented CCR. They represented the Pritzker family.
Okay.
Big T's big fans.
Scumbags.
Pritzkers,
Solid hotels, though.
patrons of the arts as well. You like their hotels?
They're fine.
Separate the art from the artist.
They're no Omni, but it's a solid hotel.
So they had a bunch of high profile clients, and
Can we talk about Cantor real quick?
yeah, let's talk about Burton Cantor.
Cantor's a shady motherfucker. Shady, brother. Okay, so he kind of fucked up. So he's CCR's attorney, and he's telling...
Which, as we all know, is Creedence Clearwater Revival.
That's right. That's right. Are you Kazaa guy?
I don't know what that
Okay.
means.
Fortunate Son.
I actually okay, so I know that song. I just know that's what that means. I couldn't tell
That was
you
Three Dog
anything
Night.
about
With CCR, you got Fortunate Son. You've got Down on the Corner. You know that one? Down on the Corner.
Yeah.
That's a big baseball song. They play that at
Yes.
baseball games a
Yeah.
lot. You know them. Their lead singer, John Fogerty.
I was just fixing to say I thought that was a John Fogerty song.
John Fogerty was their lead singer. Also sang "Put Me In, Coach."
Center
Right.
field.
Center
I'm
field.
ready to play.
Okay.
I think
My dad's
no.
favorite song.
I think that's the Coug. John Cougar.
I think
Mellencamp.
you might have gotten Morpheus.
I'm almost positive. Put me in, coach. Is John Cougar Mellencamp.
No, it's John Fogerty.
Center field is by John Fogerty.
Yeah, you got Morpheus. You
Okay,
got
whatever.
Napster on that
Late,
one.
late Fogerty.
See, this is what happens. This is what Napster and Morpheus and Kazaa did to all of our brains. What you just saw from Pat right there, that was the realization of you've been thinking that a song is wrong this entire time. And initially, even when confronted with direct evidence that you're wrong, you still hang on to, well, I don't know. So he's looking it up right now.
No. What I'm looking up.
Yeah. But it happens to all of us. This is what that era
Well,
of
let me tell you what I'm looking up.
mislabeling files did to our brains.
Because we're on a music business episode. CCR, okay, they're a cosplay band, and this has been a formula for success in the music business forever. Pretend that you're from a culture or a place where you are not,
Yeah.
and you will be embraced as a novelty or authentic from that place. And CCR, they some California boys, but you'd think they from the bayou down there in Louisiana, but they isn't. They a bunch of posers, okay? And as evidenced by Put Me in Coach later in Fogerty's career.
Well, how can you? It's not like they had a song called "Born on the Bayou." It is crazy when you look at like the lyrics to a lot of the CCR songs. It's like, yeah, they just pretended that they were from Louisiana.
100%. It worked.
It did work.
It worked. Okay, so Cantor. So Cantor's their attorney, and these guys are making a lot of dough. And you got to understand that the income tax rate, Big T, you're going to love this. The income tax rate in the early and to late 1970s was, I think, 90% for the highest earners.
Incremental.
Yeah.
Meaning like every dollar above. And I know it was like that in the 50s and I don't know how long.
So pre-Reagan,
it was higher.
Pre-Reagan, effectively leading up to Reagan, it was cranking. And Big T, by the way, country was doing great at that point, really good.
But they told me when the income tax started, it was only for the war, and it was like 1% on just.
They told you that?
Yeah, and
In
they
what
said-
year did they tell you that?
30s.
What'd you say when they told you that in 1930s?
I was like, man, I'm against it, but it seems like that
We
could
gotta
be
fund this
fairly
war.
reasonable.
Uh-huh.
And then it just never stopped going up for some reason.
Actually, it went way, 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 way down when Reagan came in and deregulated.
Yeah, but it went
the entire-
way up before.
It did, and things were great, Big T. But a lot of guys didn't want to pay those taxes. So people were trying to figure out how do we get away around that. And that born the tax shelter or the offshore bank account. And CCR's attorney, Cantor, was like, look, boys, don't worry about all them taxes. I know this guy, Paul Helliwell. And Paul Helliwell was a member of the OSS, which is a precursor to the CIA, the Office of Strategic Services. And Helliwell was a boss. If you don't know about Paul Helliwell, look him up. He's absolutely fascinating.
Helliwell?
Helliwell. Paul Lioness Helliwell, I think. He's got a crazy middle name.
Okay.
So Helliwell ran a little scheme called Air America. Are you guys familiar?
No.
Yeah.
So when the CIA needs dark money, okay, they can't have money on the books because the taxpayer can't really know what they're doing. So they need to get that money somehow. And Air America, they started running drugs to get that money. Also, Helliwell opened a little bank down in Nassau, Bahamas with Burton Cantor called the Castle Bank. And the Castle Bank was specifically set up to funnel money to the CIA for the Bay of Pigs invasion. And hey, why not be an offshore tax haven for people that don't want to pay taxes in the United States? Like, I don't know, my client CCR, these bio boys just don't understand the income tax. And that was great for a while. The Pritzkers had their money down there. Hugh Hefner had his dough down there. Anthony Curtis, the actor, ton of people. I have the list. I got a chance to dig through these files at Rutgers University a couple of years ago. But Helliwell's a real shady guy, putting money together for the CIA. They ended up getting busted because a nosy IRS investigator put together a little operation called Operation Trade Winds. And I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie The Firm. Did you ever see the movie The Firm?
Yeah.
You know, in The Firm, they go down to the Bahamas and Tom Cruise drugs Gene Hackman, and then they break into the apartment and photograph all the files, steal all the files. That's from Operation Trade Winds. That's where they lifted that story from, because one of the IRS guys took one of the guys from Castle Bank out, and then one of the other guys broke into the apartment and got all the docs. Anyway, CCR got busted. It was a huge, huge lawsuit, and Castle Bank got shut down.
So the CIA bank got shut down in the Bahamas, and then Cantor was like, I got an idea. Let's buy Ticketmaster and take down Ticketron.
That's right. We got to find a way to fuck people a different way.
So before that, the venues were kind of like run by warlords. So each town,
they're not warlords.
Each town had their own warlord.
Regional promoters.
Bill Graham did San Fran. Larry Magid did Philly. I don't know how you say that name. Don Law was running Boston. There was a guy named Lou Messina.
They're still up and kicking, baby, out of Austin, Texas. Messina Touring Group. They do all Taylor Swift's tours. They do all Ed Sheeran's tours. Great people.
And Dave Lucas, he did Indiana. So they wanted...
Well, let's talk about what a promoter is first, because that's what these guys were, right? And back in the day, you needed promoters pre-internet. I mean, like, you guys know about the Green M&M story with Van Halen. Are you familiar with this, Big T?
No, it's the first I'm hearing of this.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Okay, so there's a joke or a trope in touring, right, about make sure on my rider, right, the list of things attached to my contract that are usually hospitality or tech related, that I have a bowl of just green M&Ms. And it's like, well, why would you have that? Well, Van Halen popularized that because they were touring with a lot of amps, like a huge amount of amps. And back in the day, you literally just had a phone book and you'd call a venue and say, hey, I want to get Van Halen in this venue. But like you had no idea the quality of the venue or what kind of gear they were bringing in, and you could die if you got shocked on stage by some bad electrical work. So they would put this thing in the rider where they wanted a bowl of green M&Ms because they knew if they got that, then probably every other T, big T, had been crossed and I had been dotted, and they could have some confidence in the quality of the setup of the venue.
Interesting.
Right. But promoters, what they do is you needed a promoter, right? How would you find the room? So you'd call a regional promoter and be like, yo, I got a hot act. Boys from Louisiana, Creedence Clearwater Revival. They're going to come play St. Louis. What's the room? And then the promoter would take a huge, massive risk, absolutely massive risk, renting a room, probably giving a guarantee to the band, right? And then figuring out how to sell those tickets, getting all the gear in there, the insurance, the concessions, And it could be a huge, huge business, a big win, but also like you could fail in a massive way.
Yep. And then, so what Rosen did was he went to all these different territories, all these different people that ran the different venues, all the promoters, and said, what I'm going to do is, and Rosen, by the way, was working with Cantor. So Cantor owns Ticketmaster. He's got a buddy named Frederick Rosen, and Cantor tells Rosen, like, I want you to handle the deal making. So Rosen goes to all these different promoters, and he says, I want to do an exclusive deal for all your shows to run through Ticketmaster. And the promoters were like, well, we already have a contract with Ticketron. I don't know if you heard, but that's a pretty cool name. So
It's
that's
sick.
We sell our tickets through the ticketing.
I'm not into that Dungeons and Dragons bullshit.
Ticketmaster. What's that bullshit? So Rosen was like, tell you what, we're gonna make you a deal. As long as you sign an exclusive contract with us at Ticketmaster, and you agree to let us put a service charge on all the tickets that we sell, we will kick you back a certain amount of that service charge.
Whoa.
So you're going to be making more money, whether that's 10 to 20% extra on top of what you're making from the sale of the ticket itself. So that was a pretty sweet deal. So all these places, all these venues said, that is a good deal. Let's go ahead and do it. And slowly but surely, they put Ticketron nearly out of business until our good friend and former owner of the Washington Bullets and Capitals, Abe Pollin, went to Ticketron. And by the way, Abe Pollin is also the man responsible for changing the name of the Bullets to the Wizards.
Son of a bitch.
There was a poll.
He was the ticket wizard.
And he put out a list of names. He's like, what do you guys want to change the name to? And then everybody voted, and then he said, tell you what, I'm going to do the Wizards, which wasn't even the name on the list.
Wasn't even on the list.
Not
but
even
they were forced to change it. He didn't want to change it. I assume.
There was some pressure put on him. Like, the DC was the murder capital at the time of the United States.
I'm going to say something.
The name should go back.
Kind of makes it cooler.
Fair.
Everyone gets killed in our town. Fuck it, we're the Bullets.
Like the Bullets.
The Bullets, the Wizards should go back to the Bullets.
I agree. Murder rate's
It's like
down.
the Mario Kart thing that you get. That's the bullet.
Yeah, we're just fast.
win.
You
win every time.
We've got the fastest players.
What won the poll?
I'm trying to remember the other names out there. It was like the Washington Presidents was one.
It's always the same names.
Washington Monuments was another one. Monuments
the flags
might have won. Washington Senators might have been on there because it was the old baseball team name. Yeah, let's see what
We've gone through this a couple times, Big T. It's hard. Okay, the final poll, 5 finalists. Dragons, Express,
No.
Stallions,
No.
Sea Dogs,
No.
Wizards.
All right, he was right to go with Wizards.
Okay, all alternate proposed names: Monuments, Generals, Geckos, Funkadelics, the Gridlocks,
Because the traffic.
the Whips, the Poles,
Whips could be cool.
the Windjammers.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
All those names suck.
Whips could be cool.
I don't know. You're running into a lot of problems.
That's a bit of an issue.
A lot of problems with the whips.
That's where your mind goes. Mine goes to just whipping it up the floor.
Sure.
Throw to pass, a hard pass.
Sure.
Or you could go with like the congressional aspect. There's a person, their job title is whip
Right,
in
the
Congress.
Whip in Congress, yeah.
You whip the votes.
The Washington basketball team.
WBT. All right. So
Also, you said the Generals, the Washington Generals is the team the Globetrotters play, correct?
Oh, they kicked their ass. Those
yeah.
guys suck.
Never lost.
They
Yeah.
suck.
Undefeated.
I think out of all those, the Express probably the best one.
Yeah, the Express
Right.
is pretty good.
The rest of those
the
names
Monuments
suck.
is all right. I mean, where did the Sea Dogs come from?
We're not. Yeah, the Admirals was on there too, right?
I don't.
I think Admirals was on the list. That
Was it?
Yeah. But yeah, Abe Pollin was like, let's make it the Wizards.
Didn't Admiral Schofield play for the Wizards at one point?
He might have.
Imagine if Admiral was on the Admirals.
That'd be sick.
Dragons because the stadium's in Chinatown. Probably.
Yeah. That would have been kind of
Weird. Yeah, I've been to. I haven't been in that arena, but I've been to the outside. and
MCI.
And your MCI.
It's called.
The
It was
MCI
called
Center.
MCI.
Oh, it's credit. It's Capital
Capital
One.
One.
Right?
It was also it was WorldCom for a little bit, and then they had like a $5 billion.
You're just in like Chinatown,
Yeah.
and then on the side, it's if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you could lose it.
It's just on the facade of the street.
It's right there.
And it's just
It kind of looks like a normal building that's down there.
Yeah, if they didn't have banners on the outside of it with like the capitals.
And the basketball that's happening in there it's normal.
Very normal.
Very normal.
It could very well just be like a YMCA. So Abe Pollin bought Ticketron with the Carlyle Group.
Oh.
Yeah, teamed up with the Carlyle Group, and some goats worked for the Carlyle Group. If you want to look that up, so they bought Ticketron, and he's like, I'm gonna polish this thing up. We're gonna bring a formerly great American company back to prominence under my stewardship. And so then just a month later, he was like, psych, I'm actually going to sell Ticketron to Ticketmaster.
Ooh, a little bit of collusion, a little bit of backdoor action.
That, to me, feels kind of like the Maxx Crosby deal.
A little bit. Check Ticketron's knee.
Yeah, so we're going to just sell this to Ticketmaster, and now Ticketmaster has a near monopoly on things.
Yeah, big time.
So yeah, also in the 90s, that's when people started to turn on Ticketmaster. That's when Pearl Jam.
Okay, so here's what Pearl Jam wanted to do. Check this out. And this is where it really starts to suck. Pearl Jam wants to do a free concert in their hometown of Seattle, right? But from a permitting perspective, you can't just do a concert, right? It'll be a mess. You don't want to risk it getting shut down. So you got to ticket it, but it's a free concert. And Ticketmaster wants to put a $1 fee on every ticket. And I bet Pearl Jam might have been doing it for charity in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. They're good dudes. And that really pissed them off. But there was no option. There was no other option. It's like, sorry, dude, we're going to make our money. It's like, well, we're not making money. Why can't you do one with us? And then Pearl Jam essentially wanted to keep their ticket prices really low. Eddie Vedder said that he wanted to keep his ticket prices so a guy that worked at a gas station, which is where Vedder used to work, could take his boy to see a Pearl Jam show.
Mm-hmm.
But with a ticket fee of $6 or $7, a $20 ticket, $27 ticket's not so affordable. But there's nothing they could do about it. And this is where it becomes silly and stupid. Because if you're Pearl Jam, you don't need a promoter and you don't need a ticketing company. You don't. There's a certain level.
Especially if you're playing a hometown show in Seattle, which is where they tried to start it. They were doing Labor Day concerts. They had 2 free concerts. And Ticketmaster wanted to put a $1 service charge for each free ticket that it would issue to people. And then Pearl Jam's manager said, let's do a charity show instead, where you can donate $1 of your $3.25 service charge for the free tickets to the charity, and then Ticketmaster backed out of the deal, said no deal. That sounds like a bad rep for us.
But on the tour later that Pearl Jam did, so 10 comes out. Let me explain this to you, Big T. 10, okay? Mixed by Tim Palmer, great record. Huge record, massive record. You can't have records like this anymore, okay? It's damn near.
That's what they say.
If you're a U2 fan who likes, well, you're pretty much a Pearl Jam fan. You're like a younger U2 fan. You love 10. You think that it's perfect, okay? And it spreads across the country. What were the smashes on to it? It was Jeremy spoken.
I'm trying to remember what else was on there.
Anyway, fresh sound coming out of
I got a little
Seattle.
store for you.
Kurt Cobain's dead, so Pearl Jam is the king. And you don't need a promoter, Big T. You can go to a city and call the radio station and be like, Pearl Jam's playing here tomorrow, and that show's sold out. It's sold out. You don't need a promoter. You don't need a ticketer. But Ticketmaster is starting to own venues, okay? And they're starting to realize we can't have a squawker, a hen clucking out there like Pearl Jam, bucking the system, saying that they don't need us. So we're going to fuck these guys. And fuck them they did. And the most interesting thing about the Pearl Jam situation, I don't know if you read this, PFT, they were suspicious that Ticketmaster got to their drummer. Because Pearl Jam essentially was like, this is our fight. This is a hill we're going to die on. And they tried to book a tour on their own without Ticketmaster. And Ticketmaster called all the venues and the promoters was like, don't work with the biggest band in the world, Pearl Jam, because they're a bunch of whiny anti-capitalist bitches.
Mm-hmm.
And Vedder, okay, he's an activist. Okay, he's a principled man. He's a better man, some would say. Can't find a better man than him. It's a Pearl Jam hit.
They also did Even Flow Rock and roll like mono. That was on 10.
Better Man's the only song y'all have done that I've.
I'm still alive.
Oh, okay. I know that.
Yeah, do you know this one?
There are a lot of baseball songs. Like, these are songs that are played at the ballpark.
I don't mind stealing breath from the mouth of decadence.
It's the first I'm hearing.
That's
of
a
this.
Temple of the Dog.
Temple of the Dog. I'm
featuring-
going home. Supergroup.
Supergroup.
That's for another episode. Look, they went out on the road. The tour fell apart. Okay, and the drummer started saying, "What are we even doing?
Yeah, like he wasn't about the fight.
What do we even do? This is stupid. Let's just get out there and make our money." And they said, "Did Ticketmaster get to our drummer?" And they fired his ass. But they were concerned that like a Slugworth type character
He was a plant.
got in. And they started
thought.
paying him. Why don't you go in there and sow some doubt in the Pearl Jam team meetings?
Mm-hmm.
But little did Ticketmaster know, a drummer is the most replaceable part of a band.
That's true. So Garth Brooks tried to help out Pearl Jam because Garth Brooks was down for the fight too. So he saw what Pearl Jam was up to, and him and his manager got together and they're like, "If you need anything from us, we will stand up with you against Ticketmaster."
Well, Garth needed some good PR because he'd been burying bodies at every tour stop around the country.
People don't talk about that.
People
Yeah.
don't talk about it, allegedly.
So they were like, "Yeah, greed is ruining the music business. So Pearl Jam, your fight is going to be our fight too." And then people did think that Ticketmaster got to their drummer, Dave Abruzzese. Dave Abruzzese. And they ended up firing him. But yeah, Ticketmaster would actually hire like private investigators to follow the members of Pearl Jam around trying to get dirt on them because they were engaged in this big like PR war against Pearl Jam. So they would do some dirty tricks. They would plant local news stories that would talk shit about Pearl Jam. They paid this one guy who called himself a crowd safety consultant. It was a guy named Paul Werthmeyer, and he was an anti-moshing advocate.
Okay.
Is what he called himself.
So a mosh, big T, is also called slam dancing. And it happens in something that forms at a concert called, not a country concert,
Right.
called the Pit.
I'm familiar.
Okay. All right.
So this guy was an anti-moshing activist, and he called himself a crowd safety consultant.
I think I might be an anti-moshing activist.
Well, I was going to say
no, I think you're
a professional pussy is what he was.
you're an anti-moshing pacifist. You in theory are anti-moshing, but you're not.
I am an advocate. I'm just not going to do a ton.
Well, that's fine.
for
it.
it.
No one's going to put a gun to your head and say, "Get in the pit." No one's going to do that.
I might do that. Get in the pit, boy.
Dude, we got in the pit. I forgot what concert we went to. We got in the pit, and I got winded.
Yeah.
That's how I
Get
knew
tired?
I didn't belong in the pit anymore.
I've only been in the pit for a concert once, and it was cool.
Disturbed?
It was Morgan Wallen, and it was cool.
Oh yeah, he really gets them going.
And I had upper level tickets. I had a guy who got me into the pit. And
what Wallen song created a mosh pit?
no, I'm just saying, had I been in the pit for a concert and people started a mosh pit, I would be pissed, which is why I am an anti-moshing advocate.
Got it. I don't think you're going to be in danger of that at a Morgan Wallen show.
I agree. I'm just saying, if I happen to venture into one of those one day,
That would, I could see you.
these
getting
are
very
like these
upset.
are the concerts that Jack McCarthy goes to in like a warehouse where they're dealing Molly. Like
You're talking about raves.
I don't run in those
raves. I would not
circles.
call a rave a pit. Raves, it's just like people are like dancing, but they're
I don't know
doing,
what you call them. Okay,
Yeah.
I just know that I don't run in those circles.
If you stand near the pit though, you got to be careful because you might get pushed in.
Oh, yeah.
You always want to be one layer of person back from the pit, unless you don't want to get. Thrown
If
into the
someone
ocean.
pushes me, we're going to have issues as well.
Well, okay, let me ask you this question, Big T. If you, let's say, okay, because you don't know much about the pit. Let's say you're kind of watching the pit. You're curious. You're saying to yourself, "Man, I thought this was the Morgan Wallen show, but it's not." And you're looking into the pit, right? And then this happens. Someone points to you and calls you out. Because what can happen in the pit is the pit can slow down, and a pit boss, usually shirtless, almost always bald, potentially racist tattoos on him, he'll be standing in the center and he'll call some people out. And when you get called out, I'm not that type of guy. I'm more of like a lighter mosh pit guy. I'll get in for 2 seconds, get out. But if I've been called out, I have to go in. Would you go in?
I am wholly unmoved by peer pressure.
Oh, buddy, you don't understand. You don't understand.
You're correct. I don't, but also I don't run like that.
Okay.
So Pearl Jam, they were testifying in front of Congress. They took this fight very seriously against Ticketmaster. They were doing whatever they could to bring it to the national forefront, and have everybody realize that this is bad for the average concert-going individual in America. So they're about to testify in D.C. This is 1994. They take a trip to testify before Congress. They had time to kill, so the band wants to go around D.C. and see the sites before they go in for their testimony. They decide that they're going to take a trip to the Holocaust Museum.
Okay, let me stop you. So Big T, 6 million Jews were killed, okay, during this thing called the Holocaust.
Yes.
And there's a museum in D.C. Where you can go and remember
Seen it.
and learn. Okay.
So they decide to go to the Holocaust Museum. They got to the door. They buy the tickets to go to their the temporary exhibits that they have. They're like the seasonal exhibits that get changed out. So you have to pay a little bit extra for that. So they buy a ticket, and then the admission was actually free for that, but the service charge was $3 from Ticketmaster to get into
Printed on an IBM computer.
to get into the Holocaust Museum for free. And so they're like, this is bad.
Right.
So they eventually gave up their fight.
Well, Ticketmaster won.
Pearl Jam gave up the fight.
They were saying, don't, you know, they were powerful enough, saying, look, if you work with Pearl Jam, we're gonna come in and fuck you.
Well, like that anti-moshing activist, he ended up getting one of their concerts canceled. So they were on this tour trying to avoid all the Ticketmaster Live Nation venues.
He was using fear tactics. He was going to guys
Yeah.
like Big T and saying, if you come to this concert, you're going to get pushed in that pit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I would just not go.
so they
That
tried
would work on me.
they tried to book all these venues that weren't part of the conglomerate, and a guy like this anti-moshing guy would show up and hand deliver a 14-page report on how unsafe the crowds would be at this venue, and then cause the venue owner to cancel that concert.
Well,
with Pearl
big ups
Jam.
to Pearl Jam. They're playing places like state fairs, right? Like
Yeah.
stuff that's pretty much reserved for Ludacris and Nelly at this point. But they were the biggest band in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the only option that they had was to go play these kind of offbeat venues, which must have been a bummer for them, because the one thing that these venues that are controlled by the conglomerate do have is the best concert going experience usually.
Yeah. And so they kind of gave up their fight with Ticketmaster. I shouldn't say Live Nation, because the Live Nation merger happened in February 2009.
Right.
Much later. So Ticketmaster and Live Nation merged. Live Nation owns about 400 venues worldwide.
It's a lot. They own a
About
ton of them.
75% of United States venues that have a exclusive contract with Ticketmaster Live Nation.
Yeah, here's the other thing. They also own Rock Nation, Jay-Z's management company. They manage about 400 artists, some of the biggest artists in the world. So it's the artist and the fan that's getting screwed here, and why the lawsuit was brought against Live Nation, Ticketmaster. The artist is a lot of times not getting a piece of these fees that are getting attacked on. The fans having to pay them, which is absolutely insane. What's also crazy is, like, you should be able to choose, right? You should be able to say, I'm going to go with this ticketing company who's going to deliver. The service has become negligible. Like, you know, someone could AI code an app tomorrow that could sell tickets for a particular concert, and you could charge a $1 fee or no fee whatsoever, keep your ticket price low. Or, like, let's say you want to go into a venue and do, like, let's say you want to bundle your tickets with your album, which is a little trick we do in the music business to get record sales. So Big T, if I want to have a big first week of sales, I know people are going to buy my concert ticket, but they're not going to buy my physical media or my digital media, my album. But if I bundle that shit, then I'm getting those album sales, you see?
Love that.
It's huge.
So I didn't know the Rock Nation thing. So if I'm an artist who's repped by Rock Nation, I'm paying my agent who
Well, they're your manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who indirectly works for Live Nation.
Yeah.
So they're getting, what, 3-4% of just everything?
No, so a manager takes 15 or 20%.
Okay, wow.
So they take either 15% of the gross or 20% of the net.
Okay, so they're getting 15% before anything out of everything.
Exactly.
Before you see $1. Then the company that guy kind of works for is now owns the venue where you're doing your concert.
100%. They're getting.
So then they get a percentage of that.
Yep.
And then you go there and sell your T-shirt where they take a percentage.
That's right.
Why would anyone use that agency?
Well, Rock Nation,
Yeah.
as a management company, because they can do things for you. It's a gate-kept business. So, like, if Rock Nation came and said, look, we think Big T and the Believers are stars, and we think they're going to the top.
We are.
you would be like, shit, yeah, that's awesome. I want to sign with Rock Nation because they're going to be able to get me on bigger tours. They're going to be able to get me a record deal, or the version of a record deal today, which is like promotional dollars to promote your album. They're going to make sure to connect you with the best producers and all the things that an artist manager does.
But there are other managers. I guess you're saying the connections that they have to Live Nation make it more...
Well, yeah, the Rock Nation managed artist is the most insane. Like a Rock Nation managed artist playing a Live Nation venue, right, where there's a fee they're not getting a part of,
Ticketmaster,
and then the dollars that are coming in are getting commissioned by the manager, right? But I mean, what would you think a fair split is, Big T? So, like, let's say Big T and the Believers are selling 500 tickets in every city in America,
okay,
and you're going to go play a venue. What's your ticket price? What are you going to charge?
I think we can do a $35 ticket.
I think that's totally reasonable. That's a very reasonable ticket today. So a $35 ticket in an intimate venue, a 500 cap venue. What do you think a fair split is for you and the venue to split at the end of the night of the gross?
I mean, if I'm bringing the people to your venue...
You're bringing all the people.
But obviously they have the infrastructure that I need. I would say I should be getting 65%.
65% of the gross.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a $17.5 gross at a $500 capacity room with a $35 ticket. You'd be walking with $11,375.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That's tour bus money. If you're making 10 grand a night, you can be in a tour bus.
Okay, sick.
But you're not going to get that deal. No. You're going to get a 55% best situation, and you're not going to get a piece of the bar, the food, and they're going to take a piece of your merch.
You think we could get them to 60, meet in the middle?
If you're a really hot little artist.
Okay.
Your fans, do they drink a lot?
So this is a great point, PFT.
No.
This is a great point.
No.
Dry as a bone.
So
what about eating? Do they like to eat?
Some.
Mm-hmm.
They like to eat. Some of them like to eat?
Yeah.
There's no markup on food. Okay, but Dave Matthews, Corin Capshaw, who followed the Grateful Dead model, he used to be able to get a piece of the bar. Now, that was the shit, man. Because theoretically, you should. If you have a venue and I'm going to bring 1,000 people in there who are going to drink all night, I should get a piece of that action.
Right.
Yeah. But I'd be fine. Just get 10% of that. That's all your alcohol. That's fine.
Right, but you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a settlement, and effectively, I guess Live Nation Ticketmaster is going to pay like $200-something million. Drop in the bucket. They had $22 billion in revenue last year.
They put aside $280 million in preparation of any settlement. We don't know the terms of the settlement.
We didn't even get the full settlement money?
There's no financial component to the settlement that I'm seeing right now. They might have just said, okay, we're done.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're done. We're done prosecuting this.
I mean, it was an insane lawsuit, frankly. I read the lawsuit. It was silly. But it did break down the ins and outs of the music business.
So
you think it's good that they even made them pay $200 million?
No, I think it's bullshit. I mean, sure, it's some good. It's some good.
But you think the lawsuit was baseless, you're saying?
It was not baseless. I think that the result, the settlement, is bullshit. It's a nothing burger. And the
Okay, I'm just when you said the lawsuit was bullshit, you mean the result or the basis of it?
No, the basis was legit.
Okay.
The result is bullshit.
Okay.
The settlement.
I see.
Per the settlement, Live Nation's concert venues would be available for other promoters to book, and those promoters could decide how to distribute and sell up to half the tickets. Live Nation said service fees would be capped at 15% of face value. As part of its loosening control over venues, Live Nation would also divest 13 exclusive booking agreements with amphitheaters nationwide. Ticketmaster would offer both exclusive and non-exclusive ticketing proposals to major venues, which could also choose to distribute a portion of tickets through other primary marketplaces. My guess is that there's way more money for venues to do the exclusive deal with Ticketmaster.
These things are supposed to happen, or they don't have to now because they settled?
These are things that are supposed to happen.
So the 15% thing would be...
Well, on my Madison beer ticket, right, it was 15% of the face value.
The Cody Johnson one was 35.
Yeah.
What happened with the Oasis tickets that went for sale, like the scalpers?
What do you mean?
So wasn't there a thing with Oasis where when those tickets went live, at least maybe some of the British shows, scalpers bought too many of them off the bat, and Oasis made them...
They canceled 50,000 tickets that were resold in violation of terms. The band mandated that the resale must only occur at face value through authorized platforms like Ticket or Twickets, which I guess is a very British name for a ticketing company.
It's Twickets, isn't it?
It's Twicket, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, scalping is a big issue.
You know who does their own tickets and is doing so very successfully?
Who's that?
The Savannah Bananas.
Ooh, so I bet that itches Ticketmaster.
Yeah, so do you know, so they have no fees on anything.
Ooh, this is a great example of how it should be.
Well, and if you want to resell it, you can only resell it on their platform for face value, no markup or anything. And they do all their own stuff and they sell out.
Oh, Ticketmaster's so mad at that.
So now I think the product is insane, but they're selling out stadiums.
They own their own venue, right?
That's right.
Who?
Bananas?
No, they go all over the country.
So how are the Bananas able to? Well, but they also play like home games.
So this is a great example.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have somewhere in Savannah, but they just go on a tour now.
So this is my point. So the Savannah Bananas could not, for example, go into, let's say, the Astros Stadium in Houston and do their own ticketing because they're going to have an exclusive Ticketmaster deal.
Right.
They do have their own stadium.
Yeah, Grayson Stadium.
Yeah, but they don't, like, I think they just tour now.
You guys follow that Savannah Bananas charity situation?
No.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's a real circular situation. So essentially, like, they'll donate a portion of the proceeds to charity, but then that money just goes to a charity that they own.
Oh.
That they can then determine how to distribute that money. That
How much to pay the
the
people
dude's
that run
wife
the
is on
charity?
the payroll of. Yeah.
Oh, I was wrong. I guess they can't stop people from reselling them on the third-party websites, but from them, the tickets are $35, and it's on their own. You have to join the ticket interest list now.
Okay, this is an issue with Ticketmaster. Is they have all your info.
Yeah.
Okay, I assume everyone has my info at this
Yeah.
point. But what does that do?
I mean, I just don't want them having my info. You know.
Oh yeah, I agree. But
Yeah, but
Our info.
the government's got it, so
that's right.
Yeah. You see that the one of the kids from Doge might have just taken a thumb drive of
Yeah, he
everybody's social security information.
He took the master death file.
no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
that's
then he
great.
brought it to his new job. He's like, "Hey, would it interest you guys to have a list of all the information for every person in America?"
Wait, is that real?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
one of the Doge kids did it.
Is it the same kid who was just
Big balls.
deposed?
We don't know if it
and
was big balls.
Didn't know what DEI was.
He knew what DEI was.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, he was just
He
being
said
a
it's
little.
exactly what the EO says.
He was being a little Billy Clint up there.
Is that the same kid?
I don't know. I think this is new because this broke around the same time that interview was happening.
Is the thumb drive kid gonna get like arrested?
No, not in this America.
No, he's fine.
He's fine. Don't worry about him.
Okay.
He's in fact, he breaking news. He's getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Putting stuff on a thumb drive that's
How
so
big is that thumb drive?
That's so
dude?
2012.
How big is that thumb drive? He's gonna put the entire master death file from this.
What could a thumb drive hold?
It's a hand drive.
They go up
4
to like
gigs?
a terabyte. now.
Terabytes?
Really?
Yeah.
Pat, you're a big AI guy.
I mean, I'm a Luddite, honestly, when it comes to AI.
Same, but can you? I'm assuming that you know more than us about the OpenClaw situation.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely fucking insane.
So can you give us an update on that? Because last we talked about it, OpenClaw decided not to do business with the federal government, the Department of Defense, right? Because
Yeah.
they were like, we have two rules. One, you can't use this to spy on everyday Americans.
Sure.
Two, you can't use this to program anything that is human out of the loop kills,
Mm-hmm.
meaning a human always has to make the decision on whether or not to deploy lethal munitions against a live person.
100%. And I just rewatched Terminator 2 to get ready for this question, actually.
Oh, good.
Thank you
good,
for
good,
asking.
good.
Yeah. Okay. So this
What
is
happens in that? Everything's cool, right?
Yeah, everything's cool. This is what's fucking nuts, right? So Anthropic, the company that owns Claude, obviously we're seeing all these Silicon Valley guys with just no morals. They'll sell out everyone and anyone at the drop of a hat.
Mm-hmm.
But the CEO of Anthropic drew a line. We got a CEO that grew a conscience because the DOD wanted on their new contract that they sent over to Anthropic to remove a couple regulations. So those are the regulations you just outlined, PFT, specifically that the AI could not be used in any autonomous weapons, and then they also couldn't use the AI to spy on Americans.
Yeah.
And Pete Hegseth lost his fucking shit. Like, he couldn't believe it that they were drawing that line. So he threatened to put them on essentially a list that would crush them as a company. It's the same list that you get put on if you're a terrorist organization, absolutely destroying them. And they're at odds right now. I mean, but it's really scary that a CEO is standing up and saying, well, I don't know. And the government is saying, well, if you don't let us do exactly what we want to do with your product, then we're essentially going to ruin your business by putting you on this list.
And then you've got OpenAI being like, we'll do it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, you don't want to, they got ethical problems?
Yeah, we'll pop in there.
We'll do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I deleted ChatGPT and went to Claude when they did that.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Yeah. It's like when
I don't like it as much, though, is
Really?
the problem.
What does Claude do for you? What do you use Claude for?
I use it for this show.
Yeah.
I'll put in our research stuff, and I'll say, give me a detailed...
And you
like,
trust that?
I put it... Well, I've read the thing, so
Mhm.
I know if it's, But then I just use it for stuff that wouldn't be easily Googleable.
Mhm.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. Let me go look at my most recent searches.
My favorite at Grok is this real was yesterday when the news broke about the Ravens backing out of the Maxx Crosby trade. Schefter tweeted the image from the Raiders, and 2 seconds later, at Grok is this real.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the Grok is this real people.
I used it the
We're
other
having a
day
moment.
for the Eugene Robinson thing when I thought that was Jamal Anderson.
Gotcha.
The technocrats are an issue, man.
I also think I'm becoming a bigger and bigger believer in the dead internet theory,
Oh, 100%, dude.
where like most comments are from bots. Now, I'm not saying like people that reply to us on Twitter are bots. I know that that's not true. But like you look at any breaking news thing from like Schefter, from like anybody that's in the news.
Dude, look at your brother's Twitter.
Yeah.
If your brother posts anything, there's 45 of these same comments
Instantly.
from different accounts.
And the ones that like rephrase what's in the tweet,
Yep.
you can tell who's adding in like their little AI splash flare to it.
Oh, yeah. When you see the same tweet from
Yeah.
100 different accounts at the same time, you're like, okay.
And I've gotten so sick of that's not blank, that's blank.
What do you mean?
That's how AI writes shit.
Okay.
And it'll be like
Yeah.
the United States getting bounced early in the World Baseball Classic. That's not mismanagement.
That's a
That's
travesty.
that's incompetence dressed up
yeah.
as news.
Okay.
Like something like that, you know?
So like a pithy 90s insult comment.
yeah, that's
kinda.
not incompetence.
What?
That's
Did you see
intentional
the New York
mismanagement.
Times quiz?
I did. I haven't taken it yet, but I saw the quiz.
I tried to take it and it was paywalled, and I couldn't figure out
I'm a subscriber.
how to get around it. But 54% of 86,000 respondents preferred AI writing to, and one of them, the example I saw, the human writing was from Blood Meridian, and the AI was just some nonsense like drivel, and I guess people chose.
They don't like Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah.
I mean, Blood Meridian. Cormac McCarthy seems like it would be a very easy one to figure out. Like which one's human, which one is AI.
it was
Well,
yeah,
the one that doesn't use commas and is insanely violent is
Yeah.
probably Cormac McCarthy.
yeah, but on the whole, 54% of people preferred the AI
That's-
writing.
Yeah, but it was how many AI respondents were there is the question.
I don't know.
Could we use AI? Could we figure that bot situation out to spread an idea across the internet that's not harmful? Like, do you think we could come up with an idea and then get some nerds in on it
Mhm.
to do some bot responding and spread that idea and get maybe like a falsehood to be believed as true?
Well, yeah.
I think that's 2/3 of the internet.
All right, well, let's pick one. Let's pick a stupid one.
We've said on this show before we want to do an episode where we invent a conspiracy,
Yeah, you got to do.
and we just never do it.
So here's a good way to do that, and I've been thinking about this for a while. So newspaper.org or newspaper.com, Newspaper Archive, Genealogy Bank, and then Ancestry, right? They have all these newspaper archives that you can go back on, and some of these newspapers have not been digitized, like a lot of them actually. So if you wanted to spread a conspiracy, what you would do is go back and plant a story in one of these old newspapers and then get it digitized. So then someone's going to be looking through an old newspaper. They're not going to be able to fact check it because it's there in black and white. And there you have it.
So how would you plant it in there?
Well, I'd find out what newspaper was not digitized, and then I would go and try to contact whoever had the archive, right? Whoever's family members, and I'd find like 2 papers, because that'll happen. You'll go on, and sometimes it'd be like just 2 issues from a paper,
Yeah.
and I would get one real one and one fake one, and then I'd contact Ancestry.com and be like, "Hey, I have the digitized version of the Wichita press from the 1920s."
Mhm.
Bam.
And then people could look it
But
up.
how would you physically print it on there?
I would get an actual Wichita press, and then I would fake a digital version, and then I'd send 2 digital versions, one of the real one and one of my fake one of a different issue, to Ancestry.com. And
Okay, so you're just doing it in Photoshop.
100%, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to know. They're just fired up that they have 2 more issues of a newspaper they didn't
Right.
have. And then you wait a little bit.
That's actually a really dangerous idea.
Yep, it's
kinda
pretty cool.
like it.
No one's exploiting it yet.
I kind of like it. Like you
That
go
we know of.
You go back and just really, this would be great to do to just fuck with somebody, just like fuck with your buddy.
Yeah.
To go back to like 1920 Wichita and be like, dude, did you know that you won the 1920 Wichita Open? And then you have a picture of a guy like holding up a golf trophy that is your friend's face.
Right.
And then that guy's like, holy shit,
shit.
I'm a time traveler.
And put a cell phone in that picture, too.
Oh, that would fuck with that.
In the back, dude. Do you know about Ong's hat?
No.
So,
Is that like Slender Man?
no, in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, someone years and years and years and years ago drew a place in the Pine Barrens that wasn't there on a map. And that got around.
Ah,
And then now people make this pilgrimage to this place that doesn't exist in the Pine Barrens
okay.
called Ong's Hat. And I guess someone made some literature and started handing some pamphlets out saying that there was a time machine there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like one of these conspiracies that gets planted.
Yeah. That would be that's actually a good
Or
strategy.
like the Wichita
We should
Times
do
is
that.
like you have, your ancestor has the racist gene and it's something that can't be fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like make somebody's great grandfather.
A Nazi.
Yeah, or like a serial killer in that town. Just really fuck with their brain a little bit.
Or like like a dog fucker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really bad stuff. Okay. Well, Pat, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
That's the Beav. You can find him online. Hard Factor Pat. Listen to Hard Factor podcast.
New
Great
show
show.
every day. Find it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
One-time
YouTube.
Hard Factor guest, Big T.
Let's go. Not,
That's right.
not
Many
asked
years
back.
ago. I forget what it was.
I think it was about
Sure.
shoe size.
Sure, I could look it up. Yeah, probably.
Mhm.
Expert. Our soul expert.
Nice.
Cool. Well, we will see you guys next Tuesday. Love you guys. See you there.
Goodbye.